Nothing ever good comes from that.
Are we? Are
45 seconds.
Are we on whatever it is that you're working on over there, Mr. Mars?
Says it is.
Oh dear God, we don't know for a fact.
We're on. We're on.
I'm waiting on
I
the
can see
monitors.
Oh,
I
okay.
can see us.
So you got to push your button too.
Would you turn your phone down, please?
It's not mine.
It's this one.
It's on. It's done.
Yep, we are there. We are on the air.
Well, you know, it's a scary thing. We got 20 seconds to go.
Have you pushed your button yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
Give me just a second, okay?
That's the one that's going to blow it up.
It will.
Push it twice.
It's the iHeartRadio debut of the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Just ahead, we talk with the Spindletop Rod Club about its 36th annual Rod and Classic Car Show. Jeffrey has our pre-owned car of the week, the 2021 Hyundai Veloster. Later, we talk with Sue Mead about the first ever women-only motorsports event. I guess it would be women. Because it wouldn't be an event if it were just one woman.
Yeah.
Later,
Tell my wife that. Sorry.
do that. Conrad has the racing calendar, and the car clinic will also have the stories making automotive news headlines this week. It's just ahead on this edition of the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Howdy, along with Mike out of this world, Mars. Buttoning his shirt over there, not listening to what we're doing.
It's okay.
King Conrad DeLong is with us
Happy
as well.
Mike took the red plaid shirt off of the lime green shirt.
That's the winter version of the Beetlejuice look. Mm-hmm.
Come for your daughter, Chuck.
Say that again?
Come for your daughter, Chuck.
We need more, Jeff Zekin.
We do.
I'm Don Armstrong. Glad you could join us on this Saturday. It's a cold day here in Houston, Texas, but glad you could join us wherever you are, and especially those joining us today for the first time on iHeartRadio. Yes, we're on the network, and we'll give you more details about all of that coming up. It's a great day. This is something that Mr. Mars has been working on for quite some time, and it beats the heck out of what we used to be on a radio station locally, on terrestrial radio that had no ratings. So good for us.
Well, the studio was a small closet.
Well, but you know what?
It's smaller than what we got here.
We got
a lot smaller.
nowhere to go but up.
That's right.
That's exactly right. Well, again, thank you for watching. Thank you for being with us today, whether you're watching on the Internet, listening on the Internet, whatever the case may be.
Thank you for joining us.
On the iHeartRadio app. We thank you for joining us. Our special guest now is a fellow by the name of John Carnahan. John, good morning to you.
Good morning, fellas. How are y'all this
Well,
morning?
we're very good, thank you. John Carnahan is with the Spindletop Rod Club. Where is Spindletop Rod Club located?
We are located in Jefferson County. It's Port Neches, Beaumont, Orange, Groves, that area.
So that would be what we refer to as the Golden Triangle area.
The Grove?
Yes, sir, Golden Triangle.
Very nice.
That is correct.
And
The
you
birthplace of many superstars.
You guys have been around for quite some time as a club.
Yes, sir, we were established in 1984, and they've had a show almost every year. Of course, we lost the one for COVID, which was supposed to be 36, which we finally had last year.
Yeah.
And 37 is this year.
Okay.
And we've kind of we've renamed it a little bit with the Spindletop Street Rods and Classics. We've had to, we have to do that because we're all getting older, guys, and y'all know that too. We talked about that earlier. So we're taking some newer cars. Your car has to be 30 years old to join our club.
Well, that leaves me out.
No, you got
I got a 21-year-old car, so we got to be 30 years old. So that would be like a 1990 or earlier.
Yes, that's correct.
I don't know any 90 hot rods, do you?
Did they build any hot rods?
No, I'm sure they did.
Well, you know what? It's funny you should say that because I've been reading a lot recently about the rebirth of the 80s cars of all things.
Oh, yeah.
Who would have ever thunk that?
Well, you look at the generation of Mustangs, the Buick Grand Nationals.
The Buick Regals.
Okay, yeah, Buick Regals. the Oldsmobile 442s, which really were nothing more than just a regular Cutlass with trim. But there is a rebirth of that
if you can find them,
genre of cars.
Well,
because
it goes to affordability.
Well, that and they were pretty much wore out by the time they went to the junkyard. And I just, it's hard for me to imagine that the 80s cars would be anything. But we wander. We're talking to John Carnahan with the Spindletop Rod Club. And
Yeah.
So, John, tell us about this upcoming event you've got.
Okay, it's our 37th annual car show. We accept all vehicles. There's a $20 pre-registration fee until March 21st. After that, it's $25 at the door. We are located, I can tell you, in Golden Triangle, Church on the Rock, which is a church located on 6355 Highway 69 access, which is a road 69 and 347 come together at a point, and we meet right there at the church. It's concrete parking. It's at the church, and if you pre-register, we actually give away $1,000 the day of the show.
Wow.
So you think, why should I drive from Houston with today's gas prices to a car show? Well, the grand prize is $500.
That's a tank full of gas.
Yeah, almost. And if you pre-register, there's an additional drawing of $100 you have a chance at, and then we give away 4 $100 cash prizes also, not to mention the plaques if you win. So we have a good day. We have food vendors, access, and we have a great, we help the local families that have medical issues. This year there's a little girl, her name is Isla Edwards. She's an 8-year-old second grader, and I sent a picture to Mike. We saw this first picture. She looks like an angel, and I'm gonna read this to you because these names. She was diagnosed with CLN3, which is a Batten disease, extremely rare genetic condition, and there's nothing good about it. It starts with vision loss, and we're talking children here, then seizures, childhood dementia, cognitive decline, loss of motor skills, ability to walk and talk, and most of the time they pass away before they hit 20. And it's just a terrible disease. And this is the little girl. This is our angel this year that the money we make goes to help her with her medical expenses, because they take her all over the United States trying to find help for her or other children that might contact this disease.
Well, that's that's certainly worthy of a couple of tanks of gas to get over there and get back. And
worthy cause.
Yeah, and not only that, be with other hot rodders and people of ilk mind.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, that sounds like tons of fun. And the hours are 7:30 to 4. So, in other words, you're going to have on the loudspeaker system the In Wheel Time Car Show blasting to all the entrants out there.
Just like last year.
Absolutely. Well, that's perfect. You're going to be over there broadcasting live, Mars?
On a Saturday morning? No, I'm going to be here.
Well, why aren't you going to be there?
Why don't y'all do a live trip? Y'all come out and have it from here.
Well, Mars wouldn't have to go too far.
No.
He's right down the road. He's right down.
Exactly. You could just stay over there.
Down there
and we could quote unquote switch live to the Golden Triangle and our crack reporter, Mr. Mike Mars over there.
What's that town? Grove
Only when he
Nugget?
bends over in front of the camera.
Grove Nugget or something is the name of the town?
No, Groves is another town. That's
Groves.
the other end of the world.
This is Spindletop. This was the
birthplace of the
oil
well. Yep.
Yeah, the Lucas Gusher.
That's right, which is now out in the middle of a swamp. You can't actually get to it. They what?
They moved it because it was in the wrong place, so they moved it.
Okay, you're right. It was in the wrong. No, I think that the original one is out in the middle of a swamp now.
Gusher, that was your nickname in high school, wasn't it?
Back then, it wasn't in the middle of a swamp.
Well, let me tell you one other thing. If people are interested, you can go to Facebook and you can key in Spindletop Street Rods, and we have a website. Or you can go to Golden Triangle Car Shows, and all the local and some other area car shows are listed there. but we are definitely listed there. So you can print that page out. You have an entry form available to you there. Or I sent Mike a copy of it also. So everybody email Mike and he'll send it to you.
At info at In Wheel Time.
How many cars do you normally have out there?
Well, we're hoping for at least 200 this year. We went to a new location last year, and the morning of the show, naturally, it rained. You know how that does car people.
All too well.
We still had 160 cars, and everybody had a good time, and they said they're all coming back, and they liked our new location. So we're hoping for a couple hundred more. So,
well, good.
We'll have a lot of nice vehicles.
Now, I have another question for you based on your flyer that Mike sent me ahead of time, and that is, I want to know what 50-50 pot is. Because, I mean, I've heard of all sorts of pot, you know, some Oaxacan Gold and some Maui Wowie, but I've never heard of 50-50 pot.
All right, 50-50 pot is we sell tickets.
Oh, tickets.
Man, there goes your live show.
We thought, okay, well, I know that we have members of the Department of Public Safety that listen to this program and thinking, well, we're going to have a big raid and everybody's just going to come to us out here at this big meet that they're having on March 27th, just arrest everybody because they're going to be having 50-50 pot out there.
Crushed all our dreams.
We might as well set up at the jail.
Now I know what generation you're in.
Yeah, you're in my generation, and don't try to hide it, okay? I know where you're coming from.
You're right. You're right.
It's called show prep.
Yeah.
Gonna warm up vocal cords.
You know, it gives you an indication of how this 3-hour program is going to go when the wheels fall off in the first 15 minutes.
So what kind of car do you drive? What's your
I have
toy?
a 1969 Camaro Super Sport.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
And if you look on that flyer that I gave you or sent you, there's a green Camaro. You'll see that's the front end of mine.
So, in other words, you are a millionaire just waiting to happen because those cars are worth $1 million.
Well, see, I bought it in 1971.
Oh gosh,
for $2,700. So I've had it a while.
So is it a true X11 car?
No, it's not an X11. It's not. It's a Super Sport. X11 wasn't that the Z?
No. It was the Super Sport with the 350.
Yeah, that's right. That's what it is. It's the original motor.
Wow.
It's now a 383 stroker. I've done some work to it, and I told you I bought it for $2,700. I've got more than that in the transmission now. So
got a real nice houndstooth interior on it.
What color is the car? Green?
Yes, it's rally green metallic. That's the way it came, just like that, except for wheels and tires. And Mike took pictures of it the first show it was ever in.
Yeah, we put it on the cover of Cruising Style magazine.
I was going to say the cover of the Rolling Stone.
There you go.
No, that was later.
That was Janice.
We're back to
but
that
she
again,
was another. Well, Janice was
we're
another.
Back to that 50-50 pot again, I think.
Well, we're sampling it as we speak. So, but at any rate, well, it sounds like a ton of fun. Saturday, 7:30 to 4 on March the 27th, the 37th annual Spindletop Rod and Classic Car Show, or Street Rods and Classics, however you want to call it.
Yeah, we'll have live music, and like I said, we have food vendors.
What kind of music?
Just rock and roll, anything you want, because we've got a DJ that he plays.
Oh, okay, in other words, we could have some real hippie music going on out there if we wanted to.
Oh, yeah, we'll have and he plays requests, so you can get whatever you want.
Okay.
It's got to have a little bit of local flair, so there's going to be a little
Janice,
Edgar Winter,
and Janis Joplin.
It could be Cajun music. There's just no bit of telling.
We have
a live auction, and we have a silent auction. So that's just a little bit for everybody.
Well, it sounds like a ton of fun.
And a good location. I've Google mapped the location because you've got access from both highways on both sides of the church.
That's correct. And a lot of concrete to park in.
Yeah, it's only 8 miles from the interstate if you come in that way. I mean, it's not very
real
far.
close. It's real close.
So
yes.
I think that what you need to do is you need to go ahead and twist Mars's arm over here and have him be the the
live reporter.
Yeah, the live reporter.
Live from the scene.
You could do a remote.
We could. We could.
Is that how they give directions out there? You just go that away.
That away.
That away.
Yeah, we're kind of wide open. I wanted to do a remote from Buc-ee's this morning. I thought about doing it from Buc-ee's, but we didn't have time to get there.
And how come the Golden Triangle doesn't have a Buc-ee's? You know, you figure you'd get all those Cajuns crossing the border, and you'd lay down a Buc-ee's right there somewhere in Orange or Vidor.
Right there at the state line.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
They do the casino on the other side. We can do a Buc-ee's on our side.
Absolutely. All right.
2 reasons to go now.
Yeah, well, they got a Chick-fil-A there.
John Carnahan, we thank you for joining us on this Saturday.
Thank you so much for your invite. I enjoy talking to you guys, and see you next year, hopefully.
Okay, well, and good luck with that 50-50 pot.
Have a good show.
Thank you. And send Mike out for the remote.
You got it.
That's
He's on his way.
That's the plan.
We're going to
his way.
send him somewhere. If it doesn't make it over there, maybe he'll just go on to Louisiana.
Just
or
don't let
something.
him touch anything.
I want to remind everybody, if you'd like to get in touch with us at any time, just shoot us an email. The address here is info@inwheeltime.com. And again, we'd like to welcome all of our iHeartRadio fans. If you're listening on the iHeartRadio app, thank you very much for tuning in. And if you'd like to be a part of that family, that would be the iHeartRadio /In-Wheel Time Car Talk. What are you doing over there?
No, but that's the heart, the iHeart.
He's signing the
Oh,
show.
my
I
God.
couldn't see what he's doing from this side. I was kind of trying to
I'm
do the
thinking,
same
dear
thing.
God,
I thought he was flipping me the bird.
What kind of
Like duels.
sign is he giving us here?
He's signing the show for the impaired.
Okay. That's great.
The
And so-
alcohol
yeah,
impaired at 8 o'clock in the morning.
50-50.
50-50 pot. All right.
Oh, my gosh.
Shall we do the racing calendar?
think we
And
should.
speaking of the racing calendar, for us drag racing people, fans, that would be the Gator Nationals is trying to take place down in the swamp.
It didn't
in
rain.
Florida.
They flooded.
Yeah. Well, when it rains down there, it really
It was a
rains.
turd floater.
Oh, boy.
Okay, can we say that on the radio?
No, we can't.
Well, we just did.
I know.
Well, all the dog turds were floating.
No doubt. So the racing calendar includes the NHRA Gator Nationals and
That is the finals are tomorrow. They're going to be at 6 p.m. on FS1. So
today there's going to be probably
Qualifying
a couple
2
of
and
only
3.
qualifying 2 and 3 since they didn't have 1 and
Q1
2.
got rained out.
Right. So that's going to be on at 6 o'clock tonight on FS1.
But remember, Q1 was all about that call-out thing. Remember, this is something new NHRA brought out, kind of in the vein of these NPK things where a top fuel racer was going to call out another top fuel racer. And our friend of the show, Antron Brown, was called out by Britney Spears.
Britney Spears.
We saved her. Brittany Force, but we saved Britney Spears.
Britney Force. So, but
We
that
know
got-
where your mind is.
but that got rained out.
50-50.
Conrad is still working on the Save Britney campaign.
Well, Jeff and I are.
Yeah.
Both of y'all are.
So I think that piece, which was a new piece NHRA was trying to add to the calendar, that got washed out. And I don't think they're going to redo that for Q2 or Q3. Maybe they will. I thought it was an
Are
interesting
you familiar
concept.
with ATX, which is a new classification of factory hot rods in the pro stock, kind of the pro stock vein? I talked to Stan Holt, Mr. Loopy Tortilla, and Mr. Tailpipes and Tacos, and he tells me that he is invested in an ATX car, which is basically factory sheet metal, except the fenders, the hood, and the trunk lid are all fiberglass, so it weighs about 1,000 pounds less than
Oh, wow.
rolling off the factory floor.
Isn't that a combined
So are
class?
these like the Cobra Jet cars?
Kind of along those lines. It's a new classification, and Stan's involved in that, and he's got a
Is he gonna
Chevy
wheel one?
Camaro. Huh?
Is he going to wheel one?
He's not, but his driver is. His driver and
His wife
mechanic.
is his driver.
His wife.
She's one of his drivers.
His mechanic and driver of one of his other cars is
Are the Emmons brothers involved
So-
in that?
No.
probably.
So it's kind of like slower pro stock?
Don't ask me all the details because I don't know. Stan was explaining it to me. Conrad's going to look it up, but it sounds pretty exciting.
It's got to be heavier than a pro stock car.
Probably.
And
so,
then, yeah, I don't know. I'll look it up and we'll learn a little bit more.
I'm just thinking it's slower. Anyway, okay.
Please continue on.
NHRA, April 1st through the 3rd is the 4-wide in Vegas. And then April 22nd through the 24th is the Spring Nationals here in Houston. Get your tickets and be out there. It is the final NHRA event in Houston, but not the final event for the track. The track's going to go all season, but this will be the last time NHRA is coming to Houston, and we need to pack the place.
And we will be there.
We will be there live and in charge. Well, no, we're not in charge. Seth's in charge.
No, yeah.
We'll be in charge of that little corner of the top.
Right there next to the cocktail bar.
Yeah.
Oh, it's awesome.
And then NASCAR this weekend is at Phoenix Raceway in Arizona. Next weekend is in Atlanta. Next weekend starts Formula One. I know you've lost being a fan, but I'm still a fan. IMSA next weekend is 12 hours of Sebring. IndyCar is next weekend at Texas up in Fort Worth. Mm-hmm. And then this weekend is also World Endurance Challenge at Sebring. So they bring the world cars here the weekend before they do the IMSA cars. So pretty cool.
Yeah.
Lots of racing on the way.
Yeah, I know. I'm excited.
But I'm excited about going for the final at Baytown.
Yeah,
I was
me
at
too.
the first year at Baytown was 88, 87.
Somewhere back there.
Yeah, 87.
I know Seth. We've had him on the air, and Seth has talked about doing some special things, which I think is pretty great. You know, there's such a history of that track that was always real early in the season and was always a record-setting track.
I was about to say, yeah.
Until they got, I think it was Pennsylvania was the next track that was always a record-setting track.
It's like 15 feet above sea level or something, or
well,
very close to that.
Depending on the air, they've had races out there that they were 250 feet below sea level.
Yeah.
The air
because
was
of the water grains,
right, and so pretty sad to see it go. Totally understand why it's going, but. NHRA's final
Don't have
event.
to like it.
No,
Let's move on to our pre-owned car of the week. And Jeffrey's had a series, and I guess this is a continuation of that, the under 20 series. So cars under $20,000. And right now we're going to review the 2021 Hyundai Veloster.
That's right, and it is pre-owned under $20,000. It is there's 4 levels of trim, but we always talk about the basic because we want to keep it close to the $20,000 range. It is a hatchback. It is a base. It's a 4-passenger vehicle. It's a neat little 4-wheel.
It's a 3-door.
It's a sport hatch.
A sport hatch, but it's a 4-passenger.
Yes, but a 3-door.
Right. It's a hatch. It's got smooth body lines, sleek sculptures you can see there. It's got, very nice fascia on there. Large grille opening. Kind of reminds me of a little bit of a Lexus motif there.
Yeah, with the smile outwards instead of inwards.
Right, exactly. And you got optional rear spoiler, which this one doesn't have.
That would be an
Innie
Innie as opposed to an Audi.
Innie as opposed to, yeah.
An Audi versus a Porsche.
Yeah, and then there's always Cadillac. And, of course, it's got great body lines. It's got nice stuff in the back. You got the single tail exhaust, which other cars are having that now. This is a 21 model, so it's still fairly new.
Really?
But it is fairly new, but it's also a pre-owned. So you can get these with mileage on them, and you can get them under $20,000, and that's the whole point of this. So let's move to the inside. You can get cloth seats because that's pretty much what you're going to get on the base model. You can upgrade to some leather inserts as you increase the levels of trim. You get the power locks, you get power windows, steering wheel controls, which are there. You see that. It's a nice little pod setup. I like it. It's a small vehicle. You get the lane assist, the backup camera, which is normal. AM/FM. Believe it or not, you get AM/FM. You get MP3 player, Apple CarPlay. The important
That's
thing
AM
is,
and FM.
FM. You get country
Stereo.
and western. The good thing is you can listen to In Wheel Time podcast. You can listen to your iHeartRadio and get In Wheel Time on that vehicle. I checked into it. It does work. So, go out and buy one today, Mike. You got granddaughters that need that. On the engine side of it, you got a 2-liter. It's 147 horsepower at 6,200.
That's a lot for that little car.
Yeah, it is. But it's a little base model. Torque is 300. Torque is 132 foot-pounds of torque at 4,500 RPMs.
Wind me up.
You've got two choices of transmissions. You got automatic with an overdrive, and then you can get an optional 6-speed stick. Now, mileage on the automatic is 27 city and 34 highway. Mileage on the manual is 26 city and 33 highway. You get one knockdown because you got the stick. Why? I don't know. You would think it would be the other way around. Ride and handling, performance tires, you got aluminum wheels, rear multi-link suspension, traction control, 18,400 to 19,900. When these were new and you get to load it up, higher end versions of the trim level, you can get them for around 30 grand. So this is actually a real good bargain.
And this is the body style Hyundai uses in their motorsports program.
Yep.
You know, because they do drifting with it. They do rallycross. So the Veloster is their car of choice for their motorsports. They also do Pikes Peak Hill Climb.
I haven't been in one in quite some time. They haven't had one in the press fleet, but I remember vividly when the car came out and it was in the press fleet and I got to drive it. I like the car. It's a nice cross between something that's really sporty and something that's fuel efficient and looks good.
You can get what you want on it to a limit, but then it's like a little go-kart.
But just remember, you're not going to put a 6-foot person in the back seat.
No.
There is no leg room. But that's not
Jimmy
what
Hoffa would have fit, but they just folded him over.
Yeah, you can fold him up.
But so far as
Jimmy
a pre-owned,
Hoffa.
and you know, we tease Mike because we're going to buy one for his grandchildren. It's affordable for just that reason.
Mm-hmm. And it comes with a pretty good powertrain warranty if you're the original owner.
AM and FM.
AM and FM stereo.
Hi-Fi.
High fidelity.
Do you remember Hi-Fi?
Yep.
Before stereo.
Quadraphonic.
Ooh, now we're really pushing the limit on that.
50-50.
Did you have quadraphonic?
Yeah, and Galileo moved around the room.
Did it?
Yeah. In the Queen, in the quadraphonic, the Galileo would come out of each of the 4 different speakers. I still haven't figured out how they did that.
There was a radio station in Houston that promoted the fact that they were quadraphonic. Okay.
We need to work on that, Mike. Can you plug something in over there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't touch it.
any wires.
God. We're just hoping that we're on the air today.
We are.
Yeah, no, we are.
Has
We
anyone
are.
checked?
Yes, Candace said hello.
Because of the faux pas of last week. Unfortunately, the edited version that Mars claims that he did, that edited off all the crap at the front of the show, actually made it on the air. So
That's what makes the show fun.
No.
Completely unprofessional. Completely unprofessional.
Faux pas. He's
Completely
blaming it on
unprofessional.
Suze. He's blaming the faux pas on Suze.
Shh, she's sleeping.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she's down there. Right down
Well,
there.
she's the 5th member of In Wheel Time, so.
She is. Well, no,
She's
she'd be
the
the
sixth.
6th because Ainsley.
David.
Ainsley.
Well,
is the
he's not
thing.
here right now. So
Wake
no,
up, David.
Yeah, it's a little bit too early for him yet.
He's not even home yet.
From last night.
These young guys.
That's right. What, do you have any concerts coming up?
No, the end of April.
End of April.
We're hosting a jam next Sunday, a week from tomorrow. We're hosting a jam. It's where the musicians come out and everyone.
Where at?
County Line in Richmond. So we'll play for an hour and then we'll invite keyboard players or bass players, other drummers up, things like that. So it's a lot of fun.
So Don and his kazoo?
Donna, he can bring it. He can get up on stage and do that.
It was the recorder, but thank you anyway. Hey, the In Wheel Time Car Show streams on iHeartRadio, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and InWheelTime.com. Podcast still available on your favorite podcast channel as well. The In Wheel Time Car Show continues right after this quick break. Saturday, March 19th, 2022 is the premiere of the all-new Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise In, and you're invited. Tailpipes and Tacos kicks off a new seasonal format, and first up is the Spring Cruise In at the Loopy Tortilla in Katy, 8 to 11 a.m., Saturday, March 19th. Tailpipes and Tacos will award trophies for the best hot rod, best classic, and best modern classic, so make plans now. Tailpipes and Tacos is Houston's coolest cruise in, and this is where you'll enjoy seeing the best hot rods, show cars, classics, and resto mods, along with Loopy Tortilla breakfast tacos and adult beverages. There's no entry fee, and all cars will automatically compete for custom Loopy trophies and other prizes. It all happens at the Loopy Tortilla Tex-Mex in Katy on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard, just south of I-10. Get your ride ready for the all-new Spring Tailpipes and Tacos, Saturday, March 19th. It's going to be a huge car show, and spectators are welcome. The In Wheel Time Car Talk Show will be there, too.
Let's celebrate the arrival of spring and the return of Tailpipes and Tacos. Saturday morning, March 19th, 8 to 11 a.m. at the Loopy Tortilla in Katy. We'll see you then, weather permitting. The In Wheel Time Car Talk Show is now part of the iHeart family. Now you'll have access to 24/7 Car Talk anytime.
I'm Don Armstrong. Glad you could join us on this Saturday, a cold Saturday here in Houston. Got close to freezing. I don't know whether it actually did this morning.
It was 34.
We had a cold front come through here yesterday.
Oh, and it blew through.
Oh, yeah.
Literally, yeah. Knocked down stuff on my back patio out there and took the car cover off the Corvette. I mean, it was ugly. But at any rate, we're over that. Clear sunshine. It's going to be a beautiful day. Great day to get out and hot rod the car. You know,
Sounds
sure.
good
get
to
out
me.
on the nice dry streets.
Stretch his
and
legs a little bit.
There you go. Why not?
There you
Some
go.
smoky burnouts. It's,
You know,
it's windy enough. The smoke will go elsewhere.
You know, I don't have that kind of money to blow out my tires, so I'm good.
Or the gas.
I was
anymore,
thinking
right?
the same thing.
Well, you go down to the corner and buy those used tires that you can get for $10 a piece, and you put those on there,
Oh.
and then you blow them out.
Yeah, Maypops.
Yes,
May pop.
they blow out a
pop
lot
anytime.
quicker.
Yeah, they blow out quicker. Yeah, that's what we need to do. Is have the cars blown out tires, flapping against that expensive body work. That's good. Take out a fender. Why not?
Well, you needed to open up those fender
What?
wells.
What are you doing
He's-
over
he's
there?
adjusting his earring.
I'm trying to get to where I can hear, and I'm.
His earring fell off.
Sue Mead, are you there?
I am.
Hi, Sue.
And let me put myself back to your screen. Can you see me?
Yes.
We can.
Okay.
How are you, Sue? Where are you?
Well, I'm still stateside with you guys, and I don't want to hear that it's cold there because we're getting a bombogenesis. Is that what we call it these days, or boom storm?
Oh, the bomb
Snow.
cyclone. Yeah.
Yeah, snow is coming down. I know it started with you. I know you guys aren't used to it. People are here in New England, but I will tell you, I spent 3.5 weeks in Saudi Arabia, leaving December 26th, and I came back January 21st. It was hard to come back to frigid New England. So it's cold in the desert of Saudi Arabia at night, and I'm heading out. I'll be experiencing that again, but it's nice and warm in the daytime. But I'm here, and I'm heading out on Monday morning to go back to Saudi Arabia. It was a little unexpected, but I heard about this all-women's rally. I threw my hat into the ring to be a PR person for the 7 women from the U.S., as well as for the media company that is overseeing the rally, Performance Media. And so there you have it.
Well, how did you find out about this? I mean, is this something that's been going on for a while, or is this like the first one?
Well, thank you for asking. I found out about it because I'm such an off-road buff, and I really enjoy supporting women and rallying. But I sent a note to Performance Media in Dubai. They're based in Dubai in the UK. And I asked what was going on with the rally. And at that point, registrations were closed. I learned that there were 3 two-person women's teams from the U.S. And I did a little further research, and we made an agreement that I would work with them to help get U.S. media educated about like folks like you guys and your listeners. So just a really quick backstory. As you might remember, women only started driving in Saudi Arabia in 2017.
Yeah, I was gonna ask that.
So, and there's been, say what you will, it's so exciting that they are. When I was there last year, I had 3 women take me to a computer store when I was having an issue with something. And I really loved being with them and having them drive me, sort of going against what some people might think. And I made a number of female friends there when I was traveling last year, but it wasn't until this year's Dakar, which started January 2nd, that I met women who were actually participating in off-road racing. And there was a woman that was on the rally, Dania, who was in a side-by-side, and she had a female partner. And so there were 3 women racing in this year's Dakar, which you guys know is almost 6,000 miles long and really tough. So Saudi Arabia and a company called Jamil Motors, Abdul Latif Jamil Motors is the formal name of the company, with the help of FIA Women in Motorsports and Her Royal Highness Princess Rinal bint Bandar Al Saud. When I meet her Royal Highness, I'll learn how to say that better.
You'll practice it, right?
We pronounce ours Darren Armstrong.
That's right.
There you go. Well, what's really exciting is to see the support behind this inaugural rally. It begins next Thursday in a city called Heil, H-A-I-L. Mike, I don't remember where we spoke when I believe I spoke with you when we were in Riyadh, perhaps on our rest day.
Yes.
And so this begins north of Jeddah, which is on the Red Sea. It's about 8-hour drive north in a city called Heil. And we have been there. Amy Lerner is going with me. She raced from Jeddah to Heil, and I did the drive and then drove to Riyadh. This race competition starts in Heil with a prologue on Wednesday to seed women according to their sort of test run on Wednesday. And as is the case for any competition of this sort, there are regulations for the vehicles. There's all kinds of scrutineering and checkout to make sure that everything is up to par, that the women have the right equipment for their suits and helmets and whatever they need. And it's a fascinating list of women from around the world. As I said, there are 3 U.S. teams. I can name them in a bit, but and a 7th woman named Eleanor Coker, who I've never heard of. She is hailing with a U.S. flag and driving with a teammate from Spain. So my sense is that she's probably from Europe. I've just jumped on board, and a lot of information has just come out. But so Wednesday next week will be 16th, will be a scrutineering day, a day of going over the regulations. And then Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, the participants will have 3 days of competition for a total of 1,000 kilometers in the backcountry. And they will be driving all-wheel drive vehicles and 4-wheel drive vehicles.
What do you be driving?
So what kind of vehicles?
It's a fascinating list. There are Toyota, they're all SUVs and trucks. And there's a couple of trucks, guys. There's a Dodge Ram and a Ford Raptor, which really excites me.
But these are factory vehicles, right? These are not.
That's correct.
These are not prepped.
That's correct.
Sue, you mentioned the 7 women from the U.S. Are they all from New England, or are they just from different parts of the country?
No, they're all from more the western part of our country. I know you know Emmy Hall from Roadshow.
Yep.
Emmy and her driving partner, who have done, I believe they've done 6 or 7 of the Rebelle rallies. Rebecca Donaghy and Emmy, they drove a Rivian the last 2 years. They drove a Rolls Royce. I don't know if you remember that.
Must
3
be
years
rough.
ago. So,
but they're all from across the U.S. They're not necessarily from one part of the country. They're from all over.
yes, they're all from the West. And 2 women are from San Diego, a mother and daughter team, and they're in the automotive business and the dealership end of it. And they do a lot of goodwill work there in San Diego. And then Lynn Woodward, who a couple of you might know from the automotive field, who's with KBB, is going with her driving partner, Suzanne Susanna Blinson, who also is from the West. And Susanna has done the Rebel Rally, I believe, 7 times.
Wow.
So
what did you say that you were driving?
Well, that's a really good question. I know that for any woman who did not show up with a vehicle, say, for instance, getting one voted from the U.S., which is not the case, we will all be in vehicles that are Toyota vehicles from Jamil Motors. And when I get in on Tuesday night, along with Amy Lerner, who's from New Jersey, and John Reddy, who you guys might know, a really world-class photographer who's done adventures all over the world. He hails from Santa Barbara. They're my team. I've organized that John will be doing photos, Amy will be doing video, and I will be doing social media posts and media coverage, and working with Performance Communications to give more publicity to this first rally. But what I'm seeing on the roster is that there are a wide variety of Toyota, Lexus, Land Cruiser, Jeep Wrangler, Jeep Cherokee vehicles that women have signed up with. I had some last minute information this week with the names of participants, and I'm seeing that they're from Spain, other locations in Europe, and Australia. So I'm very excited to meet this collection of women. So 33 teams, 2 women on each team. That's 66 women, 7 flying under the U.S. flag, if you will. And I'm looking, we have Toyota Prado, Lexus GX 460.
Nice.
Sue, let me interrupt and ask you, is this a speed event or is this a timed event, or both?
Time to distance?
Yes, thanks for asking. It is not a speed event. It is very similar to the Rebel Rally and another international women's rally called the Gazelle Rally in Morocco, which I've actually done. It is a matter, the competition rewards teams that are doing precision driving from waypoint to waypoint to find flags and GPS locations that are out in the field, so to speak. And
but that is
Go ahead.
But that is without the electronic GPSs. This is all, at least what I understood about Rebel Rally, is that is all compass and calculation.
That's exactly right. It's a map and compass rally without GPS, take you there, take you home, back to the hotel at night. So it's the rally rewards is women learning how to use map and compass, but also how to not only drive. It's not tough terrain, but there's a lot of sand in the desert, and it's very easy, even if you're on a graded dirt road, which I was when I was following the rally in January. It's very easy to slip off the road and get into sand, and now you're stuck. So you have to have skills for driving and also for getting unstuck.
Okay. And one of the other things I would assume is somebody driving by you and seeing that you're having problems are probably going to stop and help. They're not going to just drive by and say, "Oh, I'm in the lead now."
Yes, that's correct. And especially if someone's in the track and you can't get by them. But in rallies like this, one of the things I really appreciate is the only people that can help are other participants on the rally. So if I'm out there and I see my good friend Emmy Hall go by and she's stuck, I cannot help her in any way. If there was an emergency, I can communicate that. And there will also be helicopters flying over the rally for safety and security, as well in the event that there's an injury or a need, as well as helicopters that will be flying to provide footage. So as we go forward, I'd love to get some footage to you guys. If you would like to have a couple of the women that are participating on your show, when they come back to the U.S., I'd love to line that up. But we'll have some good action photos from the field.
How cool is that? And this is all going to be within the UAE or within Saudi?
It's all going to be within Saudi, and the route will go from Hail to Riyadh, Mike, where we spoke. And it will end in the capital city of Riyadh, and which is a beautiful, it's funny, it's a beautiful modern day city with skyscrapers and really impressive universities. And yet a very short distance out of town are camel herders and Bedouin tents right along the road.
Along with Don Armstrong.
Yeah.
You up at the third Bedouin tent next to the camel run.
Yeah, he'd be riding the camel.
Oh, yeah. Well, the camel will be riding me either way. Well, Sue, it's great to talk to you. Great to see you. As always, I haven't seen you in person in a number of years, but you look great, and best of luck to you over in Saudi Arabia, and good luck on your trip over there next week.
Have fun.
Thanks so much, guys, and I'll be back in touch when we get back.
We look forward to it. Thanks again. Sue Mead with the Rally Jameel.
How cool is that?
Yeah, I know. What's amazing to me is that she always gets picked for these things. And she's very involved in it, and she's very, very good at what she does.
And she's very connected. And as they're trying to grow this event, bringing her in and her connections worldwide with the rally sport.
And the 7 women across the country, too. That's admirable. I'm just wondering, if it was a guy event, we'd just go and get lost. They probably stop and ask directions.
No, that's why I asked that. Smart aleck. That's why I asked that. This is all about compass and map and calculation. Yeah.
What's
something
a map?
I couldn't do. There's no way I could do that.
Couldn't fold a map.
Yeah, we're so used to using GPS on our phone. I couldn't refold the map.
Hey, we'd love to hear from you. Just shoot us an email. The address here is info@inwheeltime.com. Time now on our show for Conrad's Car Clinic, and I know that you always have something good for us.
Yeah. So wanted to talk a little bit about electrification. I know it's one of your favorite stories. And this
but it's Joe Biden's favorite stories. How's that working out for you now at the gas pump?
Electric school buses.
And this wasn't written by me. This was sent to me by a friend. You're
going to have to read this?
Not fully read it, but pieces of it. As an engineer, I'm pretty excited about electric vehicles in general, except a little bit troubled about the electric energy delivery systems. That's you.
That's not me. It's
You're
the
gonna
dog.
Blame the dog. Yeah, sure. Trying to keep the batteries charged on the grid means that power generation needs a huge increase in its ability to deliver electricity through the infrastructure. Tesla requires 75 amps on their supercharge home station, 75 amps to charge the vehicle. Most houses are built on a 100 amp system, maybe a 120 amp system. So that's going to mean it's going to require a lot of power. And when you look at, let's talk about your neighborhood, Don. Your grid here was probably built back in the 20s, the electrical grid here.
Yeah, at best.
And
the house is 1912.
So could this grid within the big grid deliver the amount of power necessary for 2 or 3 Teslas on the street?
No.
Well, that's going to be the case in a lot of subdivisions. Is the power grid isn't going to be able to deliver the energy necessary to charge more than a couple of 3 cars.
So theoretically, you could actually plug in. You could plug in your electric vehicle and take the grid down, so your neighbor couldn't use her microwave or
absolutely.
Oh, you've got your microphone back on.
because it'd be like at my mother's house. If you turn on too many appliances, the breakers trip.
Yeah. Well,
Right,
then you
and-
could do that for the
But the
neighborhood.
house was built in the 50s, but it'll be the same thing.
But
It's
how
just
many
not enough
how many
juice.
areas are going to be like that? And you've got 6 or 7 people. They all buy their Teslas and start plugging in, and all of a sudden, the neighborhood gets browned out. That's a true possibility of what's ahead of us. When you look at the power necessary, the amperage necessary to charge a car, now you also have to look at the kilowatt hours necessary to charge the car.
I don't know why people believe somehow, magically, that it's not going to make their power bill go up. Well, guess what? It is.
Well, it is because the general, I'm going to broad range this, and I'm not quite right, but the general broad range of EVs that are out there all have 100 kilowatt batteries. Now, yes, it does go from the 40s and it does go up to 200, but when you look at the range of them, it's like 80 to 120 is the general battery. So when you have that, now you have to put in that much kilowatts to restore the battery charge in the vehicle, and over time, that becomes an awful lot of energy. I pay about 19 cents per kilowatt hour at my house when you add it and all the fees and stuff up. So that's $19, $20 a day to charge the battery of my vehicle. Hey, do I burn $97 worth of gasoline
You do
yesterday?
today.
I put $97 worth of gasoline in a 2012 Chevy Tahoe yesterday. It blew my mind, but you still have to pay for that electricity on a regular interval. I don't fill my vehicle up every day, but electrically you would be filling it up every day. So, that's going to come up to, $500, $600 a month in increased electric bill just because I have an
And you
EV.
can't top it off right away because it's a slow trickle after a certain point.
Correct.
to
After
80,
it gets past 80%,
then it's a
slows
slow
down.
trickle.
So can the infrastructure withstand electrification? I don't think so.
I vote no.
By the time that it gets to where that's going to be a real concern,
Joe Biden's going
Like
to fix
today.
it.
Pete Buttigieg,
Yeah,
I think
that
that's
guy.
how you say it. He said it's just time to buy an EV.
right?
Well,
A $60,000 EV.
find one for $60,000.
Can we do
what he said.
Can we move on from this?
Please.
Why?
Well, but my point was, today's
What is the
infrastructure
What
can't
is
handle-
the point?
Exactly.
Today's infrastructure couldn't handle electrification.
But
at the
Joe's
level.
going to fix it. Right?
Let's go, Brandon.
Let's go.
Bum
Time
his
now for some
sticker.
of the stories making automotive news headlines this week here on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Toyota Motor Company has told suppliers it will cut production in Japan by up to 20% from a previous plan for the 3 months from April to ease the strain on suppliers struggling with shortages of chips and other parts. The automaker is planning to scale back domestic production by about 20% in April, 10% in May, and 5% in June from its previous plan. According to the spokesperson, Toyota is planning to produce a record 11 million cars in fiscal 22 as long as it can ensure a stable supply of chips.
But that is a reduction in Japanese domestic production, not necessarily U.S. production.
U.S. regulators on Thursday issued final rules eliminating the need for automated vehicle manufacturers to equip fully autonomous vehicles with manual driving controls to meet crash standards. Are you following this?
How?
Yeah.
Open the pod bay doors. Automakers and tech companies have faced significant hurdles to deploying automated driving system vehicles without human controls because of safety standards written decades ago that assume people are in control.
And they have no idea how to drive half of them anyhow.
Where'd my car go? Oh, it went to the store.
NHTSA
Where's my
said
car,
existing
dude?
regulations do not currently bar deploying automated vehicles as long as they have manual driving controls. And as it continues to consider changing other safety standards, manufacturers may still need to petition NHTSA for an exemption to sell their ADS-equipped vehicles, automated driving systems.
ADD.
National
With ADD, yeah.
National Highway Traffic Safety Administration said it denied a General Motors request that would have allowed the automaker to avoid fixing headlight glare problems on about 725,000 U.S. sport utility vehicles. NHTSA said in certain weather conditions, such as snow and fog, the headlight issue could cause glare to other motorists driving in proximity. They're going to be all recalled.
But that's that white light that you see as opposed
Almost to blue.
Yeah. So the manufacturer has to fix it, but when you buy them for your Corvette out there, your headlights are doing that same glare, but nobody's going to recall them because they're afraid of you, Don.
Right.
Is that the headlight?
It's a taillight.
Okay.
Taillight. It's the old taillight.
So did you put LEDs in the taillights too?
Yep. The whole thing. On
you
everything.
go.
You are such a millennial.
I am.
He's woke.
Remind me before you leave to show you the new headlight.
Yeah, I want to see
yeah,
the headlights
awesome.
for sure. Yeah.
It's Rivian's turn in the penalty box after sharply raising prices for its R1T pickup and R1S SUV in response to soaring supply chain costs. Rivian, the Amazon-backed electric vehicle startup based in Southern California, joins dealerships, legacy automakers, and even Tesla as the object of consumer wrath over the steady rise of vehicle prices. While some auto dealers are adding on $10,000 market adjustments, as they call it, to popular vehicles, Rivian is hiking prices by 17 to 20%, which can add $12,000 or more to the brand's original pricing for its launch vehicles.
Which was
Before
high,
the price hikes, the quad-motor R1T with the large battery pack and 314 miles of estimated range started at $67,500 before shipping. Now that's up 18% to $79,500. The R1S has a similar price increase in response to the wave of bad publicity. CEO, brilliant man, R.J. Scaringe, I guess that's the way you pronounce
Tell
his
us
name.
how you really feel.
Yeah, Scaramanga or whatever. Partially backtracked 2 days after announcing the hike, saying the automaker would respect the original prices for customers who ordered before March 1st. Please don't dump us.
There you go, Brandon.
Rivian delivered 920 vehicles last year after starting production in September. They're in all sorts of trouble.
And then they're going to raise destination charge.
Yeah. Because you're getting at
well,
300.
on top of that, did you hear that one of the first GMC Hummer EV1s was put up for auction at $310,000? The first guy who bought one advertised it as for $310,000 on an auction site. Buy it now.
But it wasn't Hendrick
And
that
he
bought
paid
it.
$110,000. No, it wasn't Hendrick. The GMC truck came at the guy and said, what are you doing? Because they came at the dealer trying to ask what it is, and this thing has virtually no miles on it, and he's trying to triple his
investment. I'm surprised that he doesn't get, his house egged in the middle of the night a lot.
Yeah.
All right.
Egged.
Time for a quick break now. You're on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Stay with us more after this quick break. Uh-oh, that's the wrong one.
Saturday,
Mike.
March 19th, 2022 is the premiere of the all-new Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise In, and you're invited. Tailpipes and Tacos kicks off a new seasonal format, and first up is the Spring Cruise In at the Lupe Tortilla in Katy, 8 to 11 a.m., Saturday, March 19th. Tailpipes and Tacos will award trophies for the best hot rod, best classic, and best modern classic, so make plans now. Tailpipes and Tacos is Houston's coolest cruise in, and this is where you'll enjoy seeing the best hot rods, show cars, classics, and resto mods, along with Lupe Tortilla breakfast tacos and adult beverages. There's no entry fee, and all cars will automatically compete for custom Lupe trophies and other prizes. It all happens at the Lupe Tortilla Tex-Mex in Katy on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard, just south of I-10. Get your ride ready for the all-new Spring Tailpipes and Tacos, Saturday, March 19th. It's going to be a huge car show, and spectators are welcome. The In Wheel Time Car Talk Show will be there, too. Let's celebrate the arrival of spring and the return of Tailpipes and Tacos, Saturday morning, March 19th, 8 to 11 a.m. at the Lupe Tortilla in Katy. We'll see you then, weather permitting. The In Wheel Time Car Talk Show is now part of the iHeart family. Now you'll have access to 24/7 Car Talk anytime you need a fix. Just download the iHeart Radio app and ask for In Wheel Time Car Talk, and there we are. Be sure to save us in your iHeart library for instant access. No matter where you are, you have the best Car Talk Show right on your PC, laptop, or mobile device and never have to worry about finding us again. Of course, you can always get access to our video and audio streams via InWheelTime.com and your favorite podcast channel, and all of this is free to you. From the iHeart Radio app, you'll not only hear our Saturday morning live show, but the best shows of the past, updated weekly. Never miss a minute of up-to-date new car reviews, pre-owned reviews, Conrad's Car Clinic, informative interviews, automotive news, and the most fun car talk show on the planet. Just download the iHeart Radio app, search for In Wheel Time Car Talk, save it to your library, and with the tap of the icon, you'll be in touch with your favorite Car Talk team. In Wheel Time Car Talk, streaming now on iHeart.com/In Wheel Time Car Talk.
Welcome to the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show on iHeartRadio. Coming up, we talk with Bob Fuller, the founder of Keels Wheels, and this year's show in Seabrook, Texas. Mike Mars reviews our new car of the week, the 2022 Avalon Hybrid. Plus, we'll have the upcoming events calendar along with this week's automotive news headlines and car talk galore. It's just ahead on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Howdy, along with Mike Out of This World Mars, King Conrad DeLong. We need more Jeff Zekin, as we always do.
Yeah,
I'm Don Armstrong. Glad you could join us on this Saturday. It's great to have you along with us. And if you're listening or watching on, I guess you'd be listening on iHeartRadio, since it is radio.
Yeah,
and
we
not
were told
TV.
not to refer to the
I know.
video.
Yeah, we had to sign a document and everything.
That's it. So don't
Gee
refer to the
whiz.
video. But anyway, so welcome for our iHeart listeners, and thank you very much for tuning in to us.
We heart you.
Gee whiz.
Conrad's been waiting all morning to do that.
He's been practicing.
We
He's
heart
been
you.
practicing.
I thought it was this. I don't know about your fingers all out there. In the,
Mine's angel hearts.
is that what that is?
His are sticky.
Okay.
His fingers are sticky.
As opposed to Susie. No, that wasn't hard.
Joining us now, Keels Wheels founder and the big guy in town, Bob Fuller. Bob, good morning to you. It's good to see you.
Good morning to you, sir. Thank you very much for having me on.
Well, you're on our debut broadcast on iHeartRadio, so it's all fitting. And, so we thank you very much for joining us. So we want to talk about the upcoming Keels Wheels at your local Seabrook venue down there, and it's coming up pretty quick.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. April 30, May 1 is the dates for this. Is our 26th year. The show is held each year in Seabrook, Texas at Lakewood Yacht Club, which has got about 40 acres of marinas and grounds, and we use most of that to display the cars and boats that virtually come from all over the United States to be part of our show.
Now, Bob, you say that they use most of it. I think you're being modest. They use every inch of it. Are you kidding me?
Well, okay, I confess.
Yeah, exactly. That and more, because there's off-site parking available, and you shuttle people in to see the show. And I have to say that, your show down there at the Keels Wheels event has been compared a lot to the Pebble Beach event out in California. And I will say that the quality of cars continues to amaze me every year. You manage to bring in these absolutely gorgeous cars, all different makes, models, years. It truly is stunning. What is the theme at this year's show?
Well, interestingly, because of your former conversation, antique electric cars is the primary theme. And we're going to be displaying those antique electric cars along with new modern ones. And the theme is then and now. And we've got 3 or 4, actually right now 3, I'm looking at another one, antique electric cars, a 1907 Studebaker.
Oh, wow.
A 1903 Columbia, 1915 Rush and Lang. All of those are coming from some museums, one in Indiana and the other one in Michigan. And so we're going to display antique electric cars, which a lot of people
and that'll attract a lot of attention to look at where the EVs started and then to a large degree disappeared for 60, 70 years and have now reappeared for an assortment of reasons. But how the EVs were all basically lead-acid batteries back in the day and were quite efficient, but the petroleum-based vehicles just overpowered them, and the range anxiety was even a thing back in the teens, back when Don was in his
that's where he got
high school years.
I don't know what it is about. I guess I just look the part of somebody that was born in 1917, Bob. That's all I can figure. But at any rate, I understand, is Billy Stabile coming back this year?
We're talking to Billy, and we have high hopes that those conversations will will succeed, but that's still unconfirmed.
Well, Billy Stabile was instrumental in the Ford versus Ferrari theme last year, and I will tell you, I have
He was a fun interview.
A great interview, and I spoke with him a couple of times after the show. We just connected on a level that I guess is Hollywood all the way. But at any rate, a very interesting guy, and I hope that works out for you. So
really good guy.
Yeah,
we hope to see him.
Yeah, exactly. But I assume also that. Well, first of all, I want to make it a point to point out the fact that this is not a brung what you run
this
kind
isn't
of car.
A cruise in.
No, this is not a cruise in. This is a by invite only car show. And maybe you could explain to everybody how that process works.
Well, we have quite a large database across the country, and we send out formal invitations to those individuals, many of which have participated at one point in our show, but others are new. And we also have a website, Keels-Wheels.com, where you can go online, which I'm encouraging people to do. Our deadline has been extended to March 31st. If you have a classic automobile or vintage boat that you'd like to enter in the show, we'd like for you to do that. And you can get all the entry forms and everything and do that online, again, at Keels-Wheels.com. But we review each entry. We have a car selection committee and a boat selection committee that reviews all the entries and picks those that they think fits our objectives and the quality that we're after.
Well, and that's really an important point for people to understand is the quality that you're after. I am truly a car person, but when I go there, I am drawn to the boats, and it's not just boats. I mean, you guys bring ships in, you guys have some of these, these big, huge yachts that the owners actually invite the people to come to the show on these. I'm going to call them a ship to get a tour of the ship. Permission to come aboard, take your shoes off, kind of thing. Stay a while. Well, no, I don't think they want you to stay a while. But as beautiful as those are, all the way down to the Chris Crafts, the Rivas, the beautiful boats of the wooden boat era, which is just so nostalgic for me.
I need to interject, if I may. The boating side of our theme is that this is the 100th anniversary of Chris Craft boats.
Okay.
So we're celebrating Chris Craft, and we will have quite a number of Chris Craft of every size and year you can think of, from the early runabouts and cruisers to the more modern. By modern, I mean in the end of the 40s or 50s, Chris Craft cruisers.
Yeah, and so probably that's
way of Chris Craft, along with other types of boats like Yellow Jacket and Riva and that sort of thing. So
and if you have
very much a classic car and vintage boat show.
And there's not many places you can go see that collection of those era boats in one place. I mean, you can see one here,
on the water.
You can see one there. Coming to Keels and Wheels, you can see them in the water. Some of them are up on the deck, but a majority of them are actually in the water.
Now, Bob, you said 100 years for Chris Craft. Did y'all specifically go after more of those boats, or is it just the normal entries?
No, we've tried to focus on recruiting more of the Chris Craft and
Gotcha.
And turn to the national clubs and those entries are still coming in.
And then
those boats are so beautiful.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
a lot of the other major manufacturers like Century, beautiful Century Coronado and coming, and so we're after all sorts of classic and vintage boats, but the focus is on 100 years of Chris Craft.
Well, I will say this, that that is one element that draws me to it. And you have a fellow that you've been partnered with for a number of years that really heads up that aspect of the Keels and Wheels event. And he is so knowledgeable, and everybody loves him. He's got one of those charismatic personalities that really comes through, but he knows all about those boats, and it's truly amazing. For us car aficionados, we never even think about that there is a boat aficionado. I can't remember his name, but a great guy.
The first year we had the show, we had 100 cars and 37 boats, and I didn't know how to set up the judging, so I had the car owners judge the boats. And the boat owners judged the cars. And what came of that was that the car owners realized that these guys restoring these boats were just as meticulous and nuts about it as they were about their cars. And so now we have quite a number across the country of car collectors who have one or two Chris Craft or vintage runabouts in their collection.
What I like is the Woody automobiles that are hooked up to a wooden boat trailer behind it. And what a beautiful sight that is going down. Yeah, just don't light a match.
Yeah, we like that. So we call that a rig.
Yes, a rig.
So you have antique electric cars, and then and now. What other featured vehicles are you going to have at the show this year?
All right, thanks for asking. The other features are resto mods, as well as European sports, 50s or older pickup trucks.
Oh, wow. Well, this is Texas.
And pre-war American classics and European pre-war European classics pre-war.
Oh, what a good range! What a good range of vehicles, and I know the local Ferrari, Lamborghini clubs have always supported.
We have a lot of a major showing of Ferraris and some Shelby GTs, as well as I think we have 5 Ford GT40s, and one of them virtually is a 2022 taken delivery about 30 days ago.
Oh, wow.
Quite an interesting display there.
Is Aaron going to be here? I know Aaron Shelby has been.
We're talking to Aaron. We haven't confirmed that he's coming.
No, I was out of the first part of your interview, Bob. You've got a special guest that's the Grand Marshal this year, don't you?
We're working on that. I'm not ready to announce that.
Okay, that's why I left it to you.
No, we were hoping to have that exclusive.
Don't say anything about Don Armstrong because I'm not going to be the Grand Marshal. I'm going to have to turn him down again this year. Sorry, Bob.
Well, and Don had kind of briefly mentioned it earlier. Lakewood is a great place to have the show, but parking is kind of restricted there at Lakewood. So you and the community have come up with parking vent areas off-site that bus people to the front gate. So
thanks for mentioning that.
That makes it super simple, and if I remember correctly, it's free.
It is free parking and shuttle. The parking lots are well marked up and down NASA 1 Parkway, as well as Highway 146. So there's lots of signage directing you to the parking areas and the free shuttle buses, which run back and forth virtually all day.
Which makes Keels and Wheels a better value for the weekend than an Astros game, a Rockets game, a Texans game, or any of the others, because you can't park for free at any of them.
Well, 2 of those aren't even in season now.
Well, they're all
I agree
horrible.
With that.
So, it's a great way to start off May of 2022 is come out to Keels and Wheels, look at the stunningly beautiful boats and the wonderful collection of cars, because your range of cars is going to cover both ends of the spectrum, because you're going to have the new electrics. And I'm assuming with that you're getting some help from the Tesla Club of Houston and the antique electrics, which are going to be kind of interesting to see.
Yeah, I think that'll be real interesting.
Yeah.
Cadillac in that.
I want to mention that how you buy tickets and or enter a car or boat is go to our website at keels-wheels.com. Ticket prices at the gate are $40. Online in advance, like through our website, is $30. Children 12 and under are $20. I'm sorry, 15 and under are $15, and 13 and under are $0. So you can go on our website and purchase tickets with your credit card, and if you're so inclined, you can open the entry section and enter a boat and or a car. We still have time to receive some of those entries.
And you still have all of those volunteers around the Lakewood Yacht Club that help you out every year, and we got to give those congratulations to all those fine folks that help you out, because to be honest with you, I don't think that you could pull it off without them.
No.
Well, that is a huge factor. I'm proud to say that of the major concours around the country, we are the only one whose all of the volunteers are members of the club that hosts the event. So when you stop and talk to the volunteer who, where are these kind of cars, or where are the restrooms, or whatever, you're talking to somebody who owns the ground you're standing on. And so it's their vested interest and their show, actually. So that makes it a little different. We've earned a reputation, which I'm proud of being the most hospitality-related event in the country. We're proud of that.
Well, I have to tell you that, when I do talk to the volunteers and we're out there, they're all so proud of what they're doing and the event that they help you put on every year. It's all kind of like one family that you've got going on out there.
Yes. And the funds are raised for Keels and Wheels for a couple of very specific charities.
Well, the funds are raised with a dual purpose. One is to be able to afford to put on the show.
Right.
And the other is to support another event we have in the summer called Keels and Wheels Uncorked, which is a pure fundraiser for the two charities, which is the Lighthouse charity team and the Cole
Gordon Foundation. Right.
Yeah. Well, Bob, it's great to talk to you. As always, April 30th and May 1st is the only weekend for Keels and Wheels. It's a once-a-year event, and if you're a car or boat person or just a social hound, or maybe perhaps you like to go and see a country club that is absolutely stunningly beautiful and steeped in history, I would think that you would want to go to Keels and Wheels at the Lakewood Yacht Club down in Seabrook, Texas. Bob, it's great to talk to you. Keels-Wheels.com is the place to go to find out more information, and we look forward to seeing you when we come down there.
And we've posted a link on our Facebook page.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen, very much.
Thanks, Bob.
Thank you. It's good to talk to you. All right. Hey, if you'd like to get in touch with us, shoot us an email if you would, please. Our address is info@inwheeltime.com. Again, we'd like to welcome on board iHeartRadio and our new broadcasting partner.
Woohoo! Conrad's the broadcasting partner.
God, you need to let that go.
I'm telling you.
And I will tell you that iHeart.com, get the iHeart app on your phone, and you can listen to us 24/7 on the iHeart. Thanks.
I'm going to wake up at 2 in the morning to listen to it.
And okay. Never mind. Time now for the events calendar. Give him something else to do. Here's Conrad.
He just wrote all over it.
So tonight at 3 to 9 p.m. is Nifty 50s Cruise-In at Buckthorn Place in the Woodlands. Classic Car Cruise-In. There is a $10 entry fee. Then also tomorrow night is Freddy's Steak Burgers at 1960 in Eldridge, basically, and that's a cruise-in. There's no entry fee at all. And then on the 13th as well is from noon to 3 p.m. is Classics at the Courthouse. They can come see you in jail, Tom. At Grimes County Courthouse in Anderson, Texas. Classic only.
Where is Anderson, Texas?
That
way. Got it. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, well, actually, I think it is that way.
Honey,
It is.
thanks.
It's a $25 entry fee.
Thanks a lot.
Freddy's Steak Burger is on the 16th, and that's in Katy off of Fry Road. Tonight, the Splendora car meet.
Yeah.
Right.
Splendora is an
Yippee.
open cruise, no fee. Also tonight is Saturday night Bass Head meet, and that's in Beaumont, Texas.
Bass Head.
Bass Head. Well, it's Beaumont, you know.
Bass
Well,
Head.
they had to put the B in front of it so it sounded better. Also tonight is the Brookshire
that
Brothers Cruise In Montgomery, Texas, and the Wharton Cruise Night down in Wharton, Texas. And that's
Wonderful.
6 p.m. till everybody goes home.
Wow.
Lots of stuff all around town.
Bass Head without the B.
Welcome, our heart listeners.
Yes, exactly. This is what you get. Time now for this hour's car review. Mr. Mars has a review of the Toyota Avalon Hybrid.
Yes, sir. I do. And
Wow.
I took this picture especially for Don. He loves those big grills.
Oh, God, that's so ugly. I just can't even imagine. It looks like one of those weird fish from the bottom of the sea that never see daylight.
The blowfish.
With the,
Yep.
with the mouth that is overwhelmingly huge.
We're not
And
supposed
that
to
is
reference
overwhelmingly
video.
huge.
Dude, is that attractive to you?
We're not referencing
Is that
videos.
attractive to you?
I like it.
You do. Seriously?
No.
It looks
He
like a
doesn't
snowblower.
He likes big front ends. He likes big front ends, and he cannot lie.
And
Michael.
On with the review.
So what we're talking about
Hope
here
your
is
mom's
the
not listening.
2022.
You do realize that Toyota is going to be listening to this review, and we've already dissed them about their front end on the Avalon, their high-end car.
Restart.
Jeff likes it. So we're talking about the 2022 Toyota Avalon Hybrid. Now, this is the 5th gen of the Avalon, and it is the hybrid model. And I was very surprised to learn that this is the final year of production for the Avalon.
Oh.
They're not going to make a 23 forward.
So but they're still going to bring a full-size car. Are they going to bring the Crown to the United States?
Did not say. I haven't read that. I didn't see anything about what was replacing it, but I just found several references, Toyota and everybody else. This is the last one. So I was a little surprised to learn that because I thought that was one of their, by the time you look at some of their others, their top, not necessarily the top of the line, but it's their big, larger sedan. It's still classified as a midsize, though.
Mike, they don't sell any of them. You never
Well,
see them. I knew somebody that bought a brand new one, and disliked it from the day that they got it.
Really?
Yeah. I did, and they wound up selling
it's
it.
Sized up from the Camry, though.
Yes, it is. It is. And so already, so you can't get the all-wheel drive for 22 in it, and there's a couple other things that you can't get that they've already dropped since they're going to drop the production of it. You can get the hybrid, though, in 3 different trim levels. You can get it in an XSE, an XLE, and a limited trim level once you get into that hybrid package. It is a 5-passenger vehicle. Obviously, they didn't make a lot of changes for 22 because it is going out. I will say I did like the vehicle. On the outside of it, it's got some basic lines on it. It looks like a lot of other vehicles that are in the market in that segment. You're going to find on it, it's got the adaptive cornering headlights, which I really like. The LED lighting all the way around. It rolls on some nice 18-inch aluminum chrome alloy wheels. When you get inside of it, it's pretty roomy. We had the premium leather seating. The front seats are heated and ventilated. We had the 8-inch center stack where we can monitor all our convenience controls. It had the bird's round view on it. We had the 10-inch heads-up display that was above the engine's the gauge pod. I really, really liked it. It was multicolored, had a lot of information on it. It's got a folding rear seat, 14-speaker audio system in it. And the other thing I really liked about this vehicle is it's got a wide mouth trunk opening. When you go to open it, it opens all the way up, and you're not hitting your head on it.
Kind of like that grill.
Yes.
Yeah.
So to make all this stuff go up on the front, because it is the hybrid, it's got a 2.5 liter on the gas engine side of it, and it's got a 215 combined horsepower equivalent to it. It's backed by an electronic CVT. They were very specific about putting the electronic CVT there, and I kind of thought they all were, but beside the point. So the EPA says you should be looking for like 43 in the city, 43 on the highway, 43 combined. I got 36.7 across the 238.3 miles that I drove.
That's pretty good.
And, well, I thought it was great. I did find it was a very comfortable driving vehicle, and when I sat in it, it was quiet, but it had more than adequate power with the hybrid system. It's not a sports sedan, even though it's got a few of those touches like the adaptive headlights and even the paddle
It's not built to be a
stuff.
sports sedan.
No.
It's a luxury sedan.
It is, but it seems to handle the road quite well as far as curves that you're normally going to find on the highway and stuff. It handles those very nicely. But again, not a sports car, so you don't have to deal with all that sports car ride. Now, the base trim price on this vehicle is $37,250. As price tested is $48,893. So it's a little pricey. And particularly when you go look at the some of the other competitors, like a Honda Accord hybrid, starts at $27,320.
But this is bigger than an Accord.
Whatever.
But it's in the same category.
Go ahead.
The Hyundai Sonata hybrid starts at $27,200. So it's a little more pricey than some of them. But I also happen to like it better than I like those other two.
That's good.
And Synergy Drive, they've proven that as a platform on the Prius for, 12, 14 years now?
Yeah.
I would like to sit down with the people at Toyota and go, okay, which ones of you hit the okay mark on approving that front grille?
Well, but if you look at some of the other products, I mean, they're all following that same pattern. It's like somebody's got that design, large grill design in their mind.
And there may be a purpose for it, though it could probably be a little
What
more
would the
aesthetically
purpose
designed.
be?
Well, the purpose of any grill is cooling.
Oh, but did you see the actual opening in the size of that monster? It's not very big.
Oh, okay. Well,
It's all fake stuff.
All style.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
It's a marketing
because some of
thing.
them have got little vents and things on the sides over there. Well, they just ran the grill all the way across on this one instead of doing all that.
I just don't understand it. But there's a lot of things in life I don't understand.
Yep.
That's just
3 times.
clearly. They didn't understand me, one or the other.
It's so true. Wow. But you have 2 wonderful daughters. One of them soon to be married.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
And you're taking off for that.
Maybe not. On the show?
Yeah.
I don't know. I might do the show.
Oh, okay.
Why do you think I'm not going to be able to do the show?
Because I figured your daughter's wedding was more important.
We should all wear
But
tuxedos or something.
But
we
it doesn't
could,
go all
honor.
day. That's going to
dress
happen
up.
in the evening. So
Yeah,
I think I'll be here that day.
I was in a wedding party one time. We wore the black tuxes with white tennis shoes. That was worked out well. with
Beaumont,
white
yeah.
shoes.
Naderville.
Naderville.
Yep, that only.
White tennis shoes and the coveralls.
No coveralls. The bride said no to the coveralls.
Put the B in front of it to make it sound better.
The In Wheel Time Car Talk show is now part of the iHeart family, and I know that they are
Not
thrilled to have
anymore.
us. And we're available 24/7 at iHeart.com or through the iHeart app. Just look for In Wheel Time Car Talk. We still stream on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and InWheelTime.com. Podcasts available still from your favorite podcast provider, too. Heck, we're everywhere. The In Wheel Time Car Talk show continues right after this quick break.
Saturday, March 19th, 2022 is the premiere of the all-new Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise In, and you're invited. Tailpipes and Tacos kicks off a new seasonal format, and first up is the Spring Cruise In at the Lupi Tortilla in Katy, 8 to 11 a.m., Saturday, March 19th. Tailpipes and Tacos will award trophies for the best hot rod, best classic, and best modern classic, so make plans now. Tailpipes and Tacos is Houston's coolest cruise in, and this is where you'll enjoy seeing the best hot rods, show cars, classics, and resto mods, along with Lupi Tortilla breakfast tacos and adult beverages. There's no entry fee, and all cars will automatically compete for custom Lupi trophies and other prizes. It all happens at the Lupi Tortilla Tex-Mex in Katy on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard, just south of I-10. Get your ride ready for the all-new Spring Tailpipes and Tacos, Saturday, March 19th. It's going to be a huge car show, and spectators are welcome. The In Wheel Time Car Talk show will be there, too. Let's celebrate the arrival of spring and the return of Tailpipes and Tacos, Saturday morning, March 19th, 8 to 11 a.m. at the Lupi Tortilla in Katy. We'll see you then, weather permitting.
And by the way, speaking of which, that's next weekend for the In Wheel Time Tailpipes and Tacos dual-a-thon out there in the parking lot out in Katy. But I talked to Stan yesterday, and he says, Don, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to make it. I got to go make a run out to California. And he says, so you're in charge of judging the entries because there's going to be trophies and everything. And I'm going, well, I got a car show. Okay, sure, we'll do that too. So we're talking about how we were going to do all of that. And if Biff is listening to the show, Biff, we need your help. Biff. So at any rate, so that's next Saturday, Tailpipes and Tacos. Come on out and join us.
The In Wheel Time Car Talk Show is now part of the iHeart family. Now you'll have access to 24/7 Car Talk anytime you need a fix. Just download the iHeart Radio app and ask for In Wheel Time Car Talk, and there we are. Be sure to save us in your iHeart library for instant access. No matter where you are, you have the best Car Talk Show right on your PC, laptop, or mobile device and never have to worry about finding us again. Of course, you can always get access to our video and audio streams via InWheelTime.com and your favorite podcast channel, and all of this is free to you. From the iHeartRadio app, you'll not only hear our Saturday morning live show, but the best shows of the past, updated weekly. Never miss a minute of up-to-date new car reviews, pre-owned reviews, Conrad's Car Clinic, informative interviews, automotive news, and the most fun car talk show on the planet. Just download the iHeartRadio app, search for In Wheel Time Car Talk, save it to your library, and with a tap of the icon, you'll be in touch with your favorite Car Talk team. In Wheel Time Car Talk, streaming now on iHeart.com/In Wheel Time Car Talk.
It is the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show, your place for entertaining automotive on iHeartRadio. Coming up, we're going to have some open car talk here amongst us boys.
What?
We got some things to talk about. You and me.
Okay, well, that, and you had asked a question earlier about what is the AFX category.
Yes, did you find that out?
I have
good,
information about that.
Good.
AFX or ATX?
ATX.
ATX, okay, so we got stories making automotive news headlines too. Howdy along with Mike out of this world Mars. King Conrad DeLong. We need more Jeff Zekin. I'm Don Armstrong. Glad you could join us on our debut on iHeartRadio. We thank you very much. I hope you've downloaded the app and listening there. And if you're not listening today on our live broadcast, you can listen 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app. And just look for In Wheel Time Car Talk, and you can find us right there. So tell us about this new category that Stan is involved in.
So this is basically factory experimental, and it is these Cobra Jet, Copo, drag pack, which I think is the Mopar version of cars, but they are all shifter cars. So this isn't let go of the button, drive an automatic. These are all, at least based on what I can read on the NHRA website in the technical specs from Lonnie Grimm and Brian Lones, is these are OE cars that are built as one-offs, or people who take these one-off cars and build them to take to the track at NHRA. And I believe some of the reason recently the NHRA just changed one of their major rules about roll cages. It used to be if you went under 10.5, you had to have a 6-point cage in the car. They just opened that up to anything under 9 seconds in this category has to have a 6-point cage. So we're talking about some 9-second cars uncaged, and they realize that today's technology, the strength built into the greenhouse and stuff, is pretty superb compared to what it was in the day. But what they're trying to bring back is the old days of Pro Stock, Sox and Martin, Grumpy Jenkins, those, the early Don Nicholson kind of stuff.
Dino Don,
when they were running truly a stock car, production car that they just built monster engines for. Chicago Chi-Town Hustler, all of those cars back in the late 60s and early 70s that Grumpy Jenkins went and bought and then made his street car, Strickler with the Z11 Impala.
Wouldn't you want a cage in it if you're doing under 10? I mean, I would.
Well, but it's not required, and I think they're doing that because they realize the strength of the car, but they also realize the cost.
And I think that's really the the driving factor behind this particular new class of cars, the cost, where they can keep it affordable, somewhat speaking, because there's no such thing as an affordable race car.
Yeah. So these are all 5-speed manuals, clutch pedal, brake pedal, and a gas pedal. And
I'm familiar with that.
They're open to supercharged engines. They're all fuel injected. Going to be, I think the hope is a rebirth of that type of race it on Sunday, sell it on Monday car, because today's pro stocks, like what Eric is driving, that is, it looks like a new Camaro, but there's very little. There's virtually no Camaro in it.
Exactly.
And these are going to be
maybe the roof panel.
Yeah, these are going to be production cars, one-off production cars taken to the track. Going to be a cool new class and category. And I'm not real sure. We'll have to ask Seth if they're running it. I know this year it is running as a, what do they call it, exhibition event. And I think next year they're going to be full on in the series.
That'll be cool to follow.
Yes.
Because hopefully there will be some standouts in that category, up-and-comers that will make a name for themselves.
Right. Such as Stan.
Well, Stan or his driver. But, that'll be one of those kind of classes of cars that it wouldn't surprise me that Erica might drive a time or two.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
And some of the big-name drivers.
Well, when you look at the factory Copo drag pack Cobra Jet cars today, some of the people that have come out of that, Aaron Stanfield has come out of that. Leah Pruitt has run a Challenger drag pack car for a number of years.
She still does.
Yeah. So, there's some big names that are running these factory experimental cars, and be pretty cool. So it's got to be stock dimensions as a body, 2,650 pounds. Shifter car, it's got to be manual transmission. They can only run 10.5 tires. So, they are restricted in tire size. And they're gonna look.
In other words, they have to fit underneath the wheel well.
It's a small tire, right? Yeah.
Under the stock body lines.
In the NPK world, or the street outlaws, it's small tire car.
Yeah.
So, and that'll be pretty interesting.
All right, that's it will. And looking forward to that. All right, joining us now is Nathan Milner, and he is with 0 to 60 Customs. Nathan, good morning.
Hey, guys. Good morning. How's it going?
Very well, thank you. Tell me about Nathan Milner. What's your background? Let's start with the basics here and find out about you.
Yeah, of course. So I started my journey a long time ago, about 10 years ago. I actually started on YouTube. Started making YouTube videos kind of with my friends, by myself, gaming content, all kinds of stuff. And over 10 years, it's spiraled into this huge business. But particularly, I've always been interested and really, really motivated by cars. I've always had a picture of a Lamborghini up on my wall. I've always been, I actually have a picture of 4 cars on my wall right now.
And what are those cars?
So one is a McLaren Senna, Ferrari Pista, an SVJ Roadster, and a Bugatti Pure Sport.
Oh, well, you don't pick any of the cheap cars, do you?
No. These are my 4. These are my dream cars.
Do you own any? Oh, so dream cars. So you don't own any of those?
I don't own any of these right now. No.
Not, but there's hope.
Have you driven any of them? Because I've looked at some of your YouTube stuff, and you have either driven or been behind the wheel of some pretty cool cars.
Yeah, no, definitely been. I haven't been behind the wheel of any of these.
Nobody will throw you the keys to the Senna, huh?
Yeah.
Well, cool. So tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Yeah, so started the YouTube journey. It's been about 10 years since I started. We have 3 to 4 channels right now. One of them sits with 13 million followers. The other one sits with 11 million, 7 million, and then we have some other smaller ones around 1 million. And we make kind of all kinds of content. We make vlogs, we make gaming content. We just posted a really cool video today where I play Grand Theft Auto, but it pertains to me in real life. And if I do anything illegal in the game, I get arrested in real life. So we just do really, really fun videos. It's all types of content. I filled my house with ball pit balls, packing peanuts. I turned my house into a beach with water. We kind of go crazy. So,
wow. So, where are these viewers? Do you know? Have you drilled down in to find out who these people are that are watching these?
Yeah. So a lot of our viewers are younger age, but we have a lot of middle-aged people watch us as well. Viewers are honestly all around the world. Every single country we have viewers from. Our biggest viewership is from like United States, Canada, and the UK.
Okay.
Those are our three biggest, and then I think fourth would be like Australia.
What was the one video that really kind of kicked this thing off and jumped all of those viewers?
Yeah, I think my most popular video right now is it's a Lego tower video. I basically built the world's tallest Lego tower. And I think that one has like 50 or 60.
Now, wait a minute. You can't just tell us that. I need to know how tall it is.
Yeah. It actually wasn't that tall. It was only about 2 stories. I lived in a 2-story house, so I built it all the way up to the ceiling of the second story. And I wanted to make a second one that was way bigger, too. And we actually did do that outside. We made it even taller than the house, but that video didn't do as well.
So you have a lot of time on your hands.
I guess, yeah. We're staying super, super busy.
Well, and I assume that you're making a living doing these videos.
Yes.
Very nice. And so where are you located?
Yeah,
physically?
Houston, Texas.
I'm sorry, say again?
Houston, Texas.
Oh, you're here in Houston.
Yeah.
And so it's 0 to 60 customs.
Yeah, so we have 0 to 60 customs and we have 0 to 60 society. They're 2 completely different buildings and completely different businesses.
Okay, and so are we talking to you today about society or customs?
We can talk about both.
Well, let's do that. So what's the difference between the two?
Yeah, so 0 to 60 society is going to be kind of like modern luxury car storage combined with office and entertainment space. So we have about almost 13,000 square feet of office and entertainment space and about 14,000 square feet of car storage. So people can come in, they can store their car with us, and they can come right into the offices, get some work done. We also have an entertainment space where we're going to be putting like racing simulators, golf simulators, kitchens. We have meeting rooms, pretty much everything you need to function your business. You can rent multiple offices, totally up to you. But that right now is under construction. And then 0 to 60 Customs, which is right next door, they're literally in the same parking lot, is going to be an auto customization shop. So we'll do tons of work on cars. I can't say too much of what we're doing yet because I don't want too much news to get out there. But pretty much if you dream it, we can build it. We're slowly working into kind of engine stuff, but we want to more so stay on the side of customization, like wraps, completely custom interiors, if you want stars in your ceiling, custom wheels. We're working with a bunch of companies for wheels and tunes and all kinds of stuff, exhaust and whatnot. I don't know if we'll go as deep into building like straight up race cars. Like if you brought us a Mustang and you're like, hey, I want to make a 3,000 horsepower. I don't know if we're going to be able to do that because
takes a different skill set.
More of a mechanic engineering shop. It's more of a customization shop. That's kind of the goal. So.
Sounds like fun. Well, something that we all want to be you.
And your 0 to 60 society kind of sounds like rent a man cave kind of thing to a degree.
Pretty much, yeah. It's like a giant man cave. That was kind of my vision for it because I always loved, and this is how I got the idea. I loved being in my garage around my cars. I loved looking at them. Sometimes I would even go down there with my laptop and just sit there and just work and just look at the cars because they're so beautiful. And I was like, why is there not a place where I can work and look out my window and look at all my cars or all these beautiful cars, like a dealership? I was also very fascinated with guys that work at dealerships and, guys like at Lamborghini, and they have an office. They have this big, nice glass wall, and they look out and they just see all these Lamborghinis. I was like, that must be so motivating. So that's kind of what I wanted to replicate and create.
Wow.
Nice.
Talk about a vision and a way to go.
Not looking for the exact address yet, unless you want to give it out, but where in the city is this located?
Yeah, so it's actually right next to the airport.
Okay.
Right next to IAH International Airport over in Spring. I would give you the address. Not
important. Just kind of what part of the city.
Also, it's a brand new business park, so the address doesn't even line up with the property yet. So we're trying to figure out how we can get on Google Maps.
And when do you anticipate grand opening or ribbon cutting?
So the goal is probably, I want to say October or November. for both the buildings to be done.
So they're under, like you say, under construction.
Yeah, under construction right now.
So these bays where you can park your exotic, you outfit that stall or that bay to your liking of what you said you could put desks in there and make an office, or is that separate?
Yeah. Well, so the garage and the office part is completely separate. So you'd have the garages, over to your right, and then you'd have all the offices and the entertainment and everything else is all one space.
So,
and it's honestly just, I would imagine it's just like a big open parking lot, but it's all indoors.
So you would also be open to hosting club events at the location?
Yes.
Well,
yes,
that's cool.
The goal.
I can see
so I'm trying to visualize
Grady and the Ferrari Club of Houston coming out there for this.
Yeah. I was trying to see. So the cars are going to be separate from the office space, but so the office space, if I'm in my office, am I going to have a glass wall to where I can look out on all these cars?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay,
yes.
So it's not like an individual man cave where it's me and my car. I can see everybody's car.
Yeah, see, that's what I was thinking of too. It's a big, like you said, a big open warehouse area, but you've got basically cubes or where you're at in the office to look out.
Yeah, well, I like that much better than just me looking at my car. I want to look at everybody else's car too.
You go rub on it and all that.
Yeah, that's kind of how we designed it. And there's a couple offices on the first floor that are actually combined with a parking spot. So you can park your car, you're sitting on your desk and right outside of the glass would be your car. But then obviously you could peek around and see everyone else's car.
Sure.
Yeah.
Garage as well. So
we need you to send us pictures when you got one set up.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, we've gone to 0to60customs.com, and it's kind of, for lack of a better phrase, it's a bit of a teaser at this point, is showing a couple of cool cars and the concept of 16,000 square feet of exotic car glory. It's going to be real interesting to see when you open up, and I get a chance to, I'll look to get a chance to come on out and check it out as well.
Definitely. Yeah,
Nathan, thank you so much for joining us today. Good luck with your adventure and your venture, and we appreciate you joining us today.
Yeah, thank you guys. Really appreciate the time.
Thank you. Nathan Milner, 0 to 60 Customs and 0 to 60
cool.
Society. Yeah.
Interesting.
Hey, we'd love to hear from you. Just shoot us an email. The address is info@inwheeltime.com. This is the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Right now, it is a Saturday morning, March the 12th. If you're listening to a podcast and you're going, well, wait a minute, they're talking about stuff that happened a little while ago. Well, that's why. But if you're listening to us live, well, we're live.
Thank you.
Yeah, Thank you for being you. And don't go changing to try to please me.
Okay.
You got a couple of stories I got to get in.
Gather around.
I have a thick palette of car news stories.
Gather around your radio. It's
Stellantis
story time.
CEO Carlos Tavares didn't hesitate to throw cold water on the rush toward electrification. So speaking of electrification, even as he lays out a plan making clear that his company's future is battery-powered, Tavares warns that the automaker must make productivity gains in the coming years to offset the additional expenses that come with building EVs rather than conventional gasoline models. Tavares says suppliers will have to absorb these extra costs as well, but insists they shouldn't blame the automaker. The onus, he says, is on politicians who have goaded the industry to adopt EVs.
It's all Putin's fault.
Yeah.
That's what I heard yesterday.
To help the earth, he said automakers are going to have to sell a high volume of products with lower emissions, and keeping those vehicles priced within consumers' budgets will be critical, no doubt. Because, let's face it, I don't know of an electric vehicle in price comparison to a gasoline vehicle that is cheaper than a gasoline vehicle.
And as he mentions politicians, some of politics is going to fund this. The state of Michigan has okayed transferring $666 million to General Motors for their EV
Wait a minute,
projects.
666. Yeah. Isn't that the sign of the devil?
Oh, something like that.
Don't get me going.
Well, that's their governor.
That is truly the number. Michigan has authorized $666 million
That's
to
great.
GM's
That's
EV
great.
project.
Let's just
another wonderful PR move.
That's exactly right. Couldn't it not have 667 or 665?
Yeah,
but
anything.
666.
Well, this is politics.
It's Mrs. Lucifer.
Yeah, Mrs. That's so stupid. Anyway, go ahead.
No, I just thought that was an interesting story following up on what you're
Dovetailed
saying.
right into that, yeah.
Yeah, the sign of the devil. God.
No wonder I moved.
Governor Whitless.
Thank you. Governor Whitless. We've got some recalls to tell you about. Mercedes-Benz Metris. Not mattress, but Metris. That's their van.
Yeah.
Small van.
From the 15 to 18 model years, the defective memory chip may freeze the rear view image. Oh, okay. They're going to recall it for that?
Be like our Facebook page.
Or this broadcast.
No, it was YouTube today.
It was YouTube today.
Facebook was good, but YouTube.
I'm on YouTube. I'm watching YouTube.
Truly amazing.
So they're going to recall it.
Side curtain airbag may improperly deploy on the Tesla Model S from 21 to 22.
That'd scare the critters out of you.
That will. Pow! What was that? Pre-collision system may be inoperative on the Toyota CHR for 2021. The 2021 Ford.
The post-collision
Isn't it inoperative as a pre?
Okay.
Before you hit something? Just saying.
I have to think about that.
Yeah. If it's a pre-operative, pre-accident, pre-collision, it's always off until you hit something.
Pretty much. Thank you for putting it in my terms that I can understand. 2021 Ford Escape Hybrid engine damage may cause a thermal event.
People ask, I've had a couple of people ask me, why do we emphasize that when we talk about it? When I worked for General Motors, I did incident investigations, and you were never allowed to call it a fire on paper. You had to call it a thermal event. 666. It's all integrated.
It's a code. Yeah, it's the 666 event.
Oh, my gosh.
Well, it is the devil, isn't it? Mm-hmm. All right, second row seat track is missing a bolt in the Infiniti QX60 and the Nissan Pathfinder for 2022. They're recalling it for a bolt. Unsecured electrical connections may cause a thermal event in a bunch of Mercedes-Benz, the AMG EQS53, the EQS 450, and the EQS 580.
That's their full EV.
For 2022. Okay, those are the recalls. Well, no, it's not all of them. BMW North America recalling more than 917,000 U.S. vehicles for potential issues with the valve heater.
917,000.
That could cause the part to overheat, increasing the risk of a thermal event while driving or soon after when parked.
A BMW barbecue.
Mm-hmm. The recall supersedes and expands two recalls, one in 2017 and in 2019 by the German automaker. A new fix is still being developed, according to them, for a bunch of models from 2006 to 2013.
Where do we put
And
the
remember,
fire
we talked
extinguisher?
about that last week between safety and compliance recalls. A safety recall, they will release the recall before the fix is determined.
And they went on to say smoke may be noticeable from the area near the engine compartment, BMW said in the report. Also, a plastic.
Don't worry about it. Right?
A plastic burning odor may also be noticeable.
Is that really what it has?
That's what it says.
The fix
Quote
is
unquote.
The fix is a fire extinguisher.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you imagine out on a date on a Saturday night?
Is that you, honey?
Is that you? Is that you, or is that burning plastic?
Well, if you own a BMW, there may be some plastic in her anyhow.
Blame it on the dog.
So, my daughter and son both live in California, and Pacific Gas and Electric.
I know they're proud.
Is the sole supplier of electricity to the state of California, and they struggle a lot with blackouts and brownouts. Well, PG&E and General Motors and Ford, as part of a pilot program, are making sure that the new electric vehicles are going to be an on-demand source of power for homes during blackouts. When you look at Ford Lightning has been advertising how their Lightning can power your home.
Mm-hmm.
Well, GM's new EV Silverado is going to be powering your home. I just think it's hilarious that PG&E in California is asking the vehicle manufacturers to make sure that that is a function of the vehicle
To power your home.
power your house.
When we black you out.
Yeah, because we can't power your house, and California is full of electric vehicles, so.
They're full of a lot of things out there.
So when your house is blacked out, go ahead and power it for 3 or 4 hours with your car,
Plug in
and
your
then
EV.
your car is going to be dead because we can't charge your car.
Well, it's good to know that they're still smoking a lot of pot out there in California,
Legally.
apparently.
Yeah.
Legally.
They have DoorDash, like door weed for pot.
50-50 pot.
Seriously?
I heard about
Oh,
that
yeah,
this
yeah,
morning.
yeah.
You can order it in?
Yes, then they deliver.
I'll take some Maui Wowie. Give me a half a pound of that.
It's way too confusing, the selection. They may have 300 or 400 things to select from weed to edibles, and they talk about the THC content,
Oils
and
and
the CBD
all that.
content, and oils. Yep.
Wow.
So
Okay. I'm good.
Plethora of
stonables.
Yeah, stonables.
Chevrolet's electric Blazer crossover will become the brand's first performance electric vehicle. Chevy teased the 2024 Blazer EV SS on Wednesday in a video that shows the Blazer charging before speeding down a road. Blazer EV will debut this year and go on sale next spring, according to Chevrolet. The new owners of the most expensive home ever sold in Detroit
Oh, yeah.
are Stellantis North America Chief Operating Officer Mark Stewart and Antonio Gamez-Galaz.
Bruh.
Think about that.
So how much was the house?
The Fisher Mansion sold last week for $4.9 million.
That's
How
an
much?
existing house.
$4.9 million.
That's
Yeah.
the most expensive house in the state of Michigan?
No, in Detroit.
In Detroit.
Oh, well, Detroit has been burning for years.
The Fisher
But
House
yeah,
is an existing. It's
a historic
Yes,
piece of
that's
property.
the word, yeah.
It's a very historic property from, I believe, Fisher Body.
So the top home sale in the city's history, Stewart and Gamez-Galaz bought the Palmer Woods home from Dan Aman, the former General Motors Company executive and Cruise CEO. The man was dismissed from the role in December over disagreements over the direction of the robo-taxi startup. The mansion at 1771 Balmoral Drive north of West 7 Mile Road and west of Woodward Avenue was built for Alma and Alfred Fisher, then one of the owners of the Fisher Body Company, which made car bodies where your dad worked.
and I worked there.
And you
too.
worked there too.
My brother worked there. Yep.
Mark Stewart has been with Stellantis since December 18th, back when it was still FCA. No word on Antonio Gamez-Galaz. We'll assume he is Mark Stewart's partner in one way or another, I assume. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. And
So it used to be for $4.9 million, you could buy like 70 city blocks in Detroit.
No, you could buy them all.
You could
buy them all.
Buy them all.
Yeah,
Buy the whole
probably.
city.
But that's what. But also to this day, they're turning some of these blocks into the growing places where they do vegetables and stuff.
Growing
for,
weed.
No, for the community, because a lot of them are without grocery stores, so the neighborhoods are growing their own
okay.
lettuce and things. Yeah, there's a word for it. I can't think of it.
Agriculture.
Yeah, that's it. Theoretically.
Theoretically.
Yeah, get that right. Come on now.
Well, you're the one that brought it in here. We'd never heard of that before, but theoretically.
Theory.
So that is basically at Chicago Boulevard and Woodward Avenue. And I bet you they're going to rent out space on Woodward Dream
For the cruise?
for parking.
Parking on the front
Just
lawn.
to cover the note.
No doubt. All right.
Just
Well,
show
that's
up.
it for this hour of the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Our program continues right after these quick messages.
Saturday, March 19th, 2022 is the premiere of the all-new Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise In, and you're invited. Tailpipes and Tacos kicks off a new seasonal format, and first up is the Spring Cruise In at the Loopy Tortilla in Katy, 8 to 11 a.m., Saturday, March 19th. Tailpipes and Tacos will award trophies for the best hot rod, best classic, and best modern classic, so make plans now. Tailpipes and Tacos is Houston's coolest cruise in, and this is where you'll enjoy seeing the best hot rods, show cars, classics, and resto mods, along with Loopy Tortilla breakfast tacos and adult beverages. There's no entry fee, and all cars will automatically compete for custom Loopy trophies and other prizes. It all happens at the Loopy Tortilla Tex-Mex in Katy on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard, just south of I-10. Get your ride ready for the all-new Spring Tailpipes and Tacos, Saturday, March 19th. It's going to be a huge car show, and spectators are welcome. The In Wheel Time Car Talk Show will be there, too. Let's celebrate the arrival of spring and the return of Tailpipes and Tacos, Saturday morning, March 19th, 8 to 11 a.m. at the Loopy Tortilla in Katy. We'll see you then, weather permitting. The In Wheel Time Car Talk Show is now part of the iHeart family. Now you'll have access to 24/7 Car Talk anytime you need a fix. Just download the iHeart Radio app and ask for In Wheel Time Car Talk, and there we are. Be sure to save us in your iHeart library for instant access. No matter where you are, you have the best Car Talk Show right on your PC, laptop, or mobile device and never have to worry about finding us again. Of course, you can always get access to our video and audio streams via InWheelTime.com and your favorite podcast channel, and all of this is free to you. From the iHeart Radio app, you'll not only hear our Saturday morning live show, but the best shows of the past, updated weekly. Never miss a minute of up-to-date new car reviews, pre-owned reviews, Conrad's Car Clinic, informative interviews, automotive news, and the most fun car talk show on the planet. Just download the iHeart Radio app, search for In Wheel Time Car Talk, save it to your library, and with a tap of the icon, you'll be in touch with your favorite Car Talk team. In Wheel Time Car Talk, streaming now on iHeart.com/In Wheel Time Car Talk.
It is the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show on iHeartRadio. Thanks for joining us today. Just ahead, Bobby Sparkman with the Hot Rod Tour of Texas. He joins us to talk about that upcoming first annual Truck Across Texas. I think I'm going on that. I got to drive the 2022 GMC Denali 2500 with the Duramax diesel in it, and I'll tell you my thoughts on it.
Huge.
Conrad has the cruise-in calendar and This Week in Auto History, plus we'll also have more stories making car news this week. It's just ahead in this hour of the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Howdy. Along with Mike Out of This World Mars, King Conrad DeLong, we need more Jeff Zekin.
Yep. I'm
Don Armstrong. Glad you could join us on this Saturday, and we really appreciate it, especially on our debut program here on iHeartRadio. And as you heard in the promo, I'm going to put a curtain up so nobody can see you with that.
My heart.
That's weak.
That is absolutely so Britney Spears.
Yeah.
It just is.
Free Britney.
Free Britney. I guess that's kind of
We
fitting.
love you,
Well,
Brittany.
she called out Antron.
Did she?
No, Brittany Force called out.
Oh, Britney Force. That's what it is. All right.
Another fast blonde.
50-50.
The Hot Rod Tour of Texas. It seems to have legs of its own these days, and the man that gave it legs, Bobby Sparkman, joins us now. Bobby, good morning. Oh my God, what are you guys doing out there?
We're here in New Braunfels, Texas, for the River Rod show. They got about 400 cars here this morning.
All right.
Yeah, well, that's quite a view you got there. I see that you've got the logo for the Hot Rod Tour of Texas right behind you there. And who's sitting next to you?
This is Jeremy Taylor.
Jeremy Taylor.
Yes, sir.
And how did you get drawn into this Bobby Sparkman event?
Jeremy. Well, it just kind of started from the beginning.
Because that's good.
place.
What a great answer. Yeah, it started from the beginning, where most things start, I guess. Well, it's good to see you guys. And, I've obviously been keeping up with the tour that you have lined up. And how many cars are you expecting on this tour of Texas?
Right. As of right now, really the only official registration we're trying to make it real casual and laid back and simple for folks. We've filled 300 spots at the drive-in at the Stars and Stripes Drive-In Theater in New Braunfels, and we've got a waiting list already for anybody that can't make it that wants to give their spot up.
Well, those other people can just park outside and sneak in the trunk like we used to when we were kids.
We still do.
But we're anticipating anywhere from 350 to 450 cars.
Nice. Well, and you figure that is at least 1.5 people per car, We're thinking
Exactly.
that we think that there's going to be some single people there, maybe myself, or some folks are going to bring the wife or the girlfriend or
both.
Or both.
or both.
And there's women driving their cars as well.
There you go. And this is all going to start in Victoria, Texas, and that's going to be on the 29th, I believe.
That's correct. April 29th.
Yeah. And so I will tell you that it's been kind of a venture trying to figure out what hotels you've got lined up and then getting them booked. And thank goodness that I've got a Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night place to stay. Because I wanted to be sure that I got there on Thursday evening, because I didn't want to drive 2 hours to get down there on Friday morning when the thing actually begins at 8 o'clock in the morning, I believe, isn't it?
Yeah, we're going to start gathering around 8 o'clock, and we're going to actually depart at 9 a.m. sharp.
Okay. Now, am I going to be up there at the head of the pack following you, or were you going to put me in the back of the pack?
Absolutely. Jump right in behind me or Jeremy, one of the two of us, and let's roll.
Okay. All right.
They'll be the ones with the blinking blue lights for you to follow.
Yeah. So you're really, I can't imagine having 350 to 400 car parade is what this is going to be if you happen to be along the route.
Well,
it's just going to be so amazing to watch.
It truly is. And, I will say this, that I understand that there's a couple of cities that we're going to go through that we've actually going to have some sort of police, I don't know about escort, but they're going to
police patrol,
wave us on through some of the stoplights and stuff.
Absolutely. Almost every major city where there's any traffic whatsoever, we will have police escort giving us the green light even when it's red.
So when you depart Victoria, your first stop is Shiner?
The first stop will be through Shiner at the Shiner Brewery.
And how long are you anticipating us to get from Victoria to Shiner?
About 45 minutes to an hour. About 45 minutes to an hour.
So about the time the first people start parking,
the last
people are just now leaving Victoria.
Yeah. Well, I mean, my brewery tour ticket is for 11 a.m. I figured would give us a little bit of time.
I'm in the same group as you are because mine's 11 as well.
So, I don't want to give people the wrong idea that we're dating or anything like that because, to be honest with you, I had no clue what you even looked like. This is the first time that I've ever seen you. Yeah.
Be happy he didn't ask you to marry him.
Don't do it, Bobby. I'm just going to tell you.
But it is kind of a sick car guy thing, and if anybody didn't have any clue what this was all about, they go, well, they're doing what? They're all going together? What kind of a sissy thing is this?
It's a car thing.
Hey,
it's a car thing.
Jeremy, Bobby's going to be number 4. That's an inside joke.
Yeah.
It is incredible, though, the amount of support and the amount of and I have to say law enforcement as well as all of the city leaders in every one of these small communities we're passing through. We were really worried that they were going to ask us to not go through their little communities, but every one of them has asked us, can you please stop in our town? We would love for y'all to stop.
Spend the money.
Yeah.
Well, I particularly like the way that the event is going to start in all places of Victoria, Texas. And I thought, Victoria, what an odd place to start. And I thought, well, wait a minute. He lives in Victoria, so everybody's coming to his house.
But there's a better reason. We're actually Victoria is the crossroads of the South Texas area. We're central to Austin, San Antonio, Corpus Christi, and Houston.
Okay.
Victoria is the best kept secret in Texas.
It is. And I'm going to let the cat out of the bag. Our Visitors Bureau director in Victoria is working on a Thursday night little kickoff shindig for it. Not official yet. It's going to happen.
I noticed that on the Facebook page that he sent out a really nice welcome, everybody, and come on down. We're going to have a good time. And I thought that was pretty cool.
And they will be there Friday morning to see us off and probably have some stuff to hand out.
So it's
very supportive.
So we're not having beer at your house Thursday night. We're actually going to go someplace.
We've done that before in the past.
300?
300 people at your house. I'm sure the neighbors really appreciate it.
we invite all the neighbors, and we had a live band and all the whole shebang. So it was quite a party.
Wonderful.
You know,
That's
I've
great.
been looking for a place to move. I think it may have to be Victoria, Texas.
You're just looking.
So you've talked about all of these towns are welcoming you in. So you have done the pre-event footwork and gone into or communicated with each of these towns, letting them know
Good job,
who's
Jeremy.
coming, what to expect.
Jeremy's the man.
Jeremy's the man. Jeremy he's done that community reach out to these small areas and got a positive feedback from it's just been amazing.
Okay, so Friday morning we're going to stop at the Shiner Brewery. Then from there, where do we go?
From there, from Shiner Brewery, we'll go through Gonzales, through Seguin, onto here in New Braunfels.
Okay, and we're spending the night in New Braunfels on Friday night.
That's
correct.
Right.
Yeah, and then when? Okay, so then on Saturday is what?
Saturday, we'll leave New Braunfels. We'll go through Wimberley, and then we have a stop set up at Speeding Springs and
Dripping Springs.
Dripping Springs. And
Cool muscle car stop. Very cool car stop. Great opportunity for some photos.
Yeah, it's got real neat geology around there.
And they've got probably a 40-foot Firestone old sign that they've got set up under some Austin stone rocks. It's a great place to pull your car up and take photos, and several other cars she's got positioned around to take photos with. Really neat place.
This is going to be too much fun. Okay, and then on Saturday night, is that when we're going to go to the drive-in?
Right. No, drive-in is Friday night.
Friday night, okay. And then what? So when we leave the drag strip, then where are we going from there?
All right. From Temple, we'll go up. It's
actually it's Hillsboro's.
Yeah,
Roadside American Museum.
Yeah.
In Hillsboro.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
we talked to them a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, we talked to them a couple of weeks ago. We're looking forward to that. And then,
fantastic.
Yeah, and then where are we spending the night Saturday night?
Temple.
In Temple.
Texas.
Okay. Up there by
You
George.
and George can spoon.
Yeah. So Friday night, you've got a drive-in that's going to be sold out to all these.
No, it is sold out.
I know.
SRO.
That's what I'm trying to imagine a drive-in full of all these old classic cars, or in your case, a Corvette. But
little street rods.
Yeah,
Well, it's a classic car. It's over 20 years old.
that's true.
Yeah. Matter of fact, I was patting myself
You're gonna
on
have to take pictures. I can't go, so you got to take pictures.
I was patting myself on the back today because I read a story about the last of the hideaway headlights on the Corvette, and that would be the C5 Corvette. So I've got the hideaway headlights.
The new hideaway headlights.
Well,
LEDs in them, correct?
yes. As a matter of fact, I just got them putting those in last week. So we're bumped it up.
You'll be able to see down the road quite a ways. Those are great lights.
Yep. Do you have some?
And you're going to be in front of them.
What are you driving?
I'm going to drive my 59 Edsel Ranger. They painted it last night. They sent me pictures at about 11 o'clock last night. They were spraying it.
The Edsel Ranger.
Edsel Ranger 4-door.
Nice.
It's a little unique. You'll see it there. It'll be a surprise.
What color?
Mostly white.
Mostly white.
But hey, Jeff, he's got a trunk big enough we could hide in it to get in the drive-in.
Well, you're not going.
So when you stop at the Little River Dragway, will people be able to sign up and throw a few laps in?
Yes, absolutely.
All you got to do is pass tech, and you could go down the track.
So Don can see how quick he is in his Corvette.
So now I've got to buy a helmet because my helmet is old and it won't pass.
And it's got a spike on the top.
Yeah, it doesn't have that. But yeah, that part of it is true.
He just takes the center section off on the roof.
Yeah.
And I believe Little River has some rental helmets as well for people that don't bring.
Yeah, but Don needs to have like this big, huge helmet because he has this huge head.
About the size of your hat. There you go. That's
it.
There is
Beautiful.
that. Yeah. And, the other thing, too, while I'm thinking about it, is that for those that are participating in this event, I would encourage everybody to bring along a folding lawn chair of some sort because there'll be opportunities to have a lawn chair. And I've been to events like this before where, I forgot my lawn chair. And, so I'm going to throw my folding lawn chair up and throw it in the back of the car. Any other suggestions? That obviously we got to have a cooler, and so and what else do you suggest we bring along?
Me personally, as much beer as I can possibly haul in.
Well,
you stop to fill up at Shiner, don't you?
That's correct.
Yeah. And the other thing, as I thought, I'm going to spend the day on Thursday getting the car ready to come down there, give it a good wash job, and detail it and all that stuff. But, that is a 2-hour trip on the highway down there, and it's going to get a bug or two. And I thought, well, now how in the world am I going to wash it if I have to? I assume that somehow, some way that you've arranged somebody's garden hose there in Victoria that you can give it a rinse.
We'll make that happen.
I figured you would. All right.
Make it.
All right. So we're going to go. So what happens on Sunday?
Well, Sunday was the Hillsboro Roadside America.
Okay. So we spend the night in Temple, and then we go up to Hillsboro.
Correct.
And what time are we scheduled to arrive in Hillsboro?
Just before lunch.
Yeah.
Just before lunch. So that means that we can do lunch and then head home after that.
Oh, absolutely. There's one more stop after that.
Oh, really? Where is that?
House of Hot Rods in Mansfield will be our last official stop.
Okay, and what time is that scheduled?
We should hit there around 3 o'clock.
3:30.
3:30, something like that.
Mansfield. Man, it sounds like so much fun, and I know that you guys have done a bunch of work and lined up the hotels, and we got, the massive discount at each of the hotels and the stop cities, and some of the cities have got multiple hotels there. So it's a job well done. Pat on the back,
Very
gents.
nice. Very cool.
Yeah.
And it looks like, at least based on what I followed on some of the discussion on your Facebook page, some people may join you for 1 or 2 stops and then peel off, and other people will join you at other stops and peel off. But there will be a crew of people start to finish.
Yes.
That's going to be pretty.
You guys are getting the first view of this. This is a little incentive for the long haulers that make the full trip. We're going to give away a few of these.
Ooh, very nice.
Very nice.
So say, yes, I saw the route map. Oh, there you go.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So, we're looking forward to. I love that. It's an old school Coke cooler. Yeah. Very nice. Well, you guys have done such a great job on this, and I'm really excited to join you and looking forward to it. And, we've got another month to go, actually 5 weeks to go before the event. And so I would imagine that with this broadcast and others, that you're going to have more and more people join on. You know that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Well, it's going to be a heck of a parade, a heck of a car show, because I was thinking about you when you were talking about bringing your lawn chair.
Cars.
Yeah, if you're up front and you get to Shiner or you get to any stop, well, you can get out and sit and watch everybody else come in for an hour and a half and have this awesome car show
This
rolling.
is Texas' version of the Woodward Dream Cruise on the highway.
Except better because it's Texas.
You make sure Don gets one of those coolers so we can set it up here in the studio and it'll be on all the time.
Yeah, Kelly Lee Moore says she's coming start to finish as well.
Awesome. And just to throw another little plug out there for the long haulers, Rust-Oleum has jumped on board. They're gonna offer. They've offered us up 4 garage epoxy floor kits to give away. So those are going to be on the trip too for the long haulers. It will be given away.
Oh, cool!
Yeah.
Nice work, Jeremy.
Yeah, that's really good, you guys. So
I'm so jealous.
Are you?
I am.
Now it's getting closer. Yeah.
And Michael Wooding from Woody's Waterfront Car Show, he's going to be joining us in his. Is it an Oldsmobile or Pontiac that
Pontiac?
He's got a
56 Pontiac
Safari wagon.
Safari wagon. Yeah. So he's going to be joining, and I think that he and I are going to caravan together down there on Thursday afternoon. I haven't talked to him about that, but he has offered up his Pontiac Safari wagon.
Listen to this.
To my daughter, who's getting married on April the 2nd. So that's going to be the drive-away car.
The getaway car.
The getaway car from the reception. But the deal is, and he said, it's a 2-door. So you can't put the bride and the groom in the back seat. because there's just not enough room. And how are you going to get back there? It's
They'll
difficult
find a
to
way.
get in.
Yeah. They'll find a way.
See, the groom is going to drive the car. The bride's going to sit in the passenger seat, and they're going to drive it away. And Michael and I will follow them to wherever they're going to go.
Don's going to be all the way in the back, kind of looking up over the edge like he did when he was a little kid.
What's
Back of
not
Mom
to
and
say
Dad's
she
wagon.
can drive and he can be the passenger?
Well, that could be too. So, how that works out. But
That's
at any
gonna be
rate,
cool.
so it's going to be fun. All we need to do is just get Conrad to get the Oldsmobile key thing fixed, and so we can get. When's the last time that car ran? Pause.
Some time ago.
Some time ago. It's over a year ago.
Probably close to over a year. It was at Tailpipes and Tacos during the pandemic.
So this would be a good time to have it rolling because this would be a good place to take it.
Yeah,
Nice work,
then
fellas.
who else is going to be? Well, I've already said I'm going to be in Austin that weekend.
Well, that's perfect.
I'm at work.
You can pick them up there.
That's right. You could drive the car to Austin, and you could pick us up out of Austin
And
on
actually,
the way north.
it's the weekend after NASCAR at COTA that I'm going to be in Austin.
See, all of
So
these
be able to buy
sides-
all those discounted T-shirts. Hey, Bobby, you going to be selling any Hot Rod Tour of Texas T-shirts? I'm sure there's got to be some merch involved in this.
We've got 50 hats ordered. We've got 150 shirts ordered. They will be available for pre-sale starting next week.
So what about the coolers?
Coolers, you got to win.
You got to win the
That-
cooler.
Hats will be chocolate gray and black with the license plate logo on them. And then the shirts, I think, are going to be charcoal gray or ash color.
Very nice. Well, we're so excited to be a part of this, and we thank you for letting us join in and lag along, if you don't mind. So let's stay in touch, and hey, let's talk right before we get going here in about 3 or 4 weeks.
Absolutely, man.
All right.
Thanks, Bobby.
Bobby
Appreciate you
Sparkman,
joining us.
Jeremy Taylor, thank you both, and y'all take care. We'll be in touch.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
I am so jealous.
The inaugural event.
Yeah.
And I can see this as getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Oh,
each
you
year.
know it will.
And maybe taking different directions through the state as well, because definitely at some point in time, I don't know how they could do it with 300 cars. Hemi Hideout's got to be on their bucket list.
That
of
would be my
places to do.
question, is that the larger it gets, split it into 2 events for the year.
Yeah.
Maybe a fall and a spring.
Exactly.
You know, this part of Texas.
If you
But
can't make
what a
it to
great
this-
idea!
so many
what a great
options.
event! Yeah, and Texas is a great state to cruise around in.
No doubt. All right, time now for this hour's car review, or in this case, truck review. 2022 GMC Sierra 2500, 3/4 ton as we used to call it. Available trim levels are the Pro, the SLE, the SLT, the AT4, and the Denali. The reviewed trim level is the Denali with the diesel. This is a standard pickup truck, 3/4 ton version. How many passengers? 5, including the driver. No exterior changes from the last model year. Exterior, everything is big on this vehicle,
Yes,
as you
it
can
is.
see,
Yeah.
including the rectangular grille with massive GMC emblem. Tow hooks are incorporated in the lower front valance on this. It has retractable side steps. That is an excellent choice. It is an option. You need to get those if you're going to get this.
Absolutely.
Built-in steps in the back bumper, awesome feature as well. This particular one had the optional multi-pro tailgate. It is the bomb. The audio controls in the multi-pro tailgate is an absolutely brilliant idea. That comes with the upgraded stereo system.
Audio controls.
Uh-huh.
I didn't realize. They
So
did
you
that.
can tailgate, have the speakers are built in, the multi-pro tailgate, and you can control the volume back there. You can plug in your MP3 player. It is the bomb,
Oh, wow.
man. Yeah. Interior highlights. Very vertical dash, well laid out controls, intuitive infotainment screen, dual glove boxes with passive phone charger on the center console, carpet inserts, and the all-weather floor mats. That was a cool thing. What I liked about it, the overall comfortable cabin. All 3/4 trucks. 3/4 ton trucks are very competitive with each other. If not brand loyal, be sure and shop with your gut and your heart. 6.6 liter diesel V8, 445 horsepower and up to 910 pound-feet of torque. Transmission, This one had the 10-speed automatic. Usually when they get into these 3/4 tons with the diesel, they'll bring it back down to a 6-speed. Nope, this one here, that Allison transmission, it is really a nice one. Tow rating, 18,500 pounds. Haul rating, 3,760 pounds. That is not government rated when it comes to fuel mileage. I got 16.3 miles per gallon over 385 miles. Not bad for this whopper of a vehicle. What I liked about it, the transmission rocks. What could use improvement? Better mileage. How about a hybrid with a diesel? Could you do that?
Yeah, absolutely could.
Well, that's just an idea. Thought I'd throw it out there. Ride and handling, well, it's not for everyday commuting unless you are ready for a rough ride.
There are a lot of people who do.
Yes, if you got it loaded up, towing a big front end loader on the back of it, or you got a load of rocks, great. If not, it's going to be a stiff suspension without a load. Base trim price on this is $67,195. Price as tested was $78,000 with the diesel. Base model price, if you can get into a stripper with the a gasoline motor for $40,600, wow. But it doesn't have the capacity that I just mentioned on this one. Now, competitors, Ford Super Duty 250 Limited is $86,780. The Ram 2500, $70,610, and the Chevy 2500, $64,795. And that is my review of the Sierra 2500.
It had the fold down running boards, and they're needed because it's a big truck, and
it's a step to get in without the running boards.
Yeah.
And it is it's a tight, stiff ride.
Good looking truck, though.
Yeah, it is.
I mean,
it is.
Seriously, a good looking truck.
They did themselves proud on that one, I think. Yeah.
And like I said, I didn't realize they put the audio in the tailgate. How genius is that? But how genius is that tailgate as well?
Yes.
It makes it extremely functional.
It's expensive as an option. I think it's like $2,000 or something. Get it, because it is the bomb.
Yeah. Walter likes it.
Yes, Walter likes it on the Chevrolet. Mm-hmm. Walter the cat.
The cat, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, how about the cruise-in calendar?
Well, next weekend is Tailpipes and Tacos. We're going to be at Loopy Tortillas. We get there 6 o'clock-ish, and
so do some of the other entries.
and we go till 11. We're on the air from 8 to 11, but this is going to be a new format this year at Tailpipes and Tacos, and there's going to be awards provided to attendees. We're going to have kind of like a little check-in table just for you to kind of check in, get a number, get your vehicle categorized.
Pay the judge.
There's 3 categories. There's going to be modern classic, and hot rod.
Correct.
So we're going to try and get you categorized. There's going to be awards at each of those 3 categories. Have to be present to win at 10 o'clock, and then we're going to have you on the show after 10 o'clock, after you get the award, to talk about your car. So it's going to be kind of cool. Something
$20 will get you third place.
Oh,
there's no fee involved in this.
We need more Jeff.
Yeah. There's no money involved here.
So again, a different format for Tailpipes and Tacos, and we're going to hold. Stan's going to hold it quarterly, so should be a lot of fun. And then also on March 19th is APA at the Strand, and there's a $30 entry fee for that, and that's at Pier 1 at 21st, and that Street and Harborside in Galveston. Also on the 19th is the Central Texas Rolling Car Show. That'll be leaving Leander, Texas, and cruising around. The March 26th is Church on the Rock in Spindletop Car Show. We had them on the show a little bit earlier today. Yep. So that's going to be out in Beaumont, it's in Spindletop, but basically people look at it as Beaumont.
Yeah.
Saturday, April 9th is Luby's Lake Jackson second annual Car and Truck Show. And again, that'll be 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Also Saturday, May 14th is the Arkansas Camaro Fest in Eureka Springs. Bring your mullet.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, I couldn't. Bring your mullet, right?
I was going to say that Galveston.
Why would you say that about that show?
Camaro. It's just a joke about Camaros.
Mullets?
Yeah.
In Arkansas.
In Arkansas.
Well, you know what you call.
I got relatives in Arkansas, so I'm with you.
Well, why doesn't that surprise me?
The more teeth you have, the further up the line you go.
Well, you know what you call 32 beautiful white teeth in Arkansas? A beauty pageant. I'm sorry. Send your comments
It's
to Mike
at info.
That's Mars.
And then also April 22nd is the Mustang anniversary weekend here in Houston, hosted by the Houston Shelby owners.
We're going to hell.
And you know Randy will be there.
$666 million. Yeah.
Exactly.
Who came up with that?
But if you go to that Galveston show, it is literally down on the dock where the Alyssa ties up and everything.
Yeah.
They line up all along that dock. It's really cool.
It's a very good show. I've got a number of friends that go to it every year.
Okay.
But we'll be at Tailpipes and Tacos, so I wanted to talk about Tailpipes and Tacos.
The N-Wheel Time Car Show streams on the iHeart Radio app and website, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and NWheelTime.com. Podcasts are available still from your favorite podcast source if that's the way you want to go.
Mm-hmm.
The N-Wheel Time Car Show continues right after this quick break.
Saturday, March 19th, 2022 is the premiere of the all-new Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise In, and you're invited. Tailpipes and Tacos kicks off a new seasonal format, and first up is the Spring Cruise In at the Lupi Tortilla in Katy, 8 to 11 a.m., Saturday, March 19th. Tailpipes and Tacos will award trophies for the best hot rod, best classic, and best modern classic, so make plans now. Tailpipes and Tacos is Houston's coolest cruise in, and this is where you'll enjoy seeing the best hot rods, show cars, classics, and resto mods, along with Lupi Tortilla breakfast tacos and adult beverages. There's no entry fee, and all cars will automatically compete for custom Lupi trophies and other prizes. It all happens at the Lupi Tortilla Tex-Mex in Katy on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard, just south of I-10. Get your ride ready for the all-new Spring Tailpipes and Tacos, Saturday, March 19th. It's going to be a huge car show, and spectators are welcome. The N-Wheel Time Car Talk Show will be there, too. Let's celebrate the arrival of spring and the return of Tailpipes and Tacos, Saturday morning, March 19th, 8 to 11 a.m. at the Lupi Tortilla in Katy. We'll see you then, weather permitting. The N-Wheel Time Car Talk Show is now part of the iHeart family. Now you'll have access to 24/7 Car Talk anytime you need a fix. Just download the iHeart Radio app and ask for N-Wheel Time Car Talk, and there we are. Be sure to save us in your iHeart library for instant access. No matter where you are, you have the best Car Talk Show right on your PC, laptop, or mobile device and never have to worry about finding us again. Of course, you can always get access to our video and audio streams via InWheelTime.com and your favorite podcast channel, and all of this is free to you. From the iHeart Radio app, you'll not only hear our Saturday morning live show, but the best shows of the past, updated weekly. Never miss a minute of up-to-date new car reviews, pre-owned reviews, Conrad's Car Clinic, informative interviews, automotive news, and the most fun car talk show on the planet. Just download the iHeart Radio app, search for N-Wheel Time Car Talk, save it to your library, and with a tap of the icon, you'll be in touch with your favorite Car Talk team. N-Wheel Time Car Talk, streaming now on iHeart.com/N-Wheel Time Car Talk.
It is the N-Wheel Time Car Talk Show on iHeartRadio, the place for weekly entertaining car talk. Just ahead, Tom Gattuso with SEMA. Conrad has the popular This Week in Auto History, and we'll get you updated on the stories making car news this week. Howdy, along with Mike Out of This World Mars, King Conrad DeLong. We need more Jeff Zekin.
Yep.
I'm Don Armstrong. Glad you could join us on this Saturday for our live broadcast, and if you're listening on the iHeartRadio app and happen to pick this particular show up, this show was recorded on March the 12th of 2022. Thanks for joining us today. And again, this is our debut on iHeartRadio.
God bless you.
Yeah, we've been kind of keeping it on the QT because we wanted to make sure that we didn't have some major hiccup that we always have every Saturday morning.
It was perfect this morning.
Yeah.
Went smooth as chunky peanut butter.
Guess what? We still have 29 minutes to go.
Don't jinx it.
Don't jinx it yet. 666.
Michigan giving General Motors.
Yeah.
The devil.
All right. Tom Gattuso is with SEMA, and he joins us now. Tom, good morning to you.
Good morning. I'm honored to be on the debut of the iHeart Radio podcast.
Hey, absolutely.
That's why we chose you.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
You are the chosen one.
You are the chosen one. Unlike the $666 million that the state of Michigan is giving somebody.
General Motors.
General Motors. Well, what does that say? Anyway, you don't have to comment on that. Just sit there. You're good.
It's in rubles.
Yeah, that's it. So, Tom, let's talk about SEMA. Tell everybody that doesn't know about SEMA. What does SEMA stand for?
So it's the Specialty Equipment Market Association, and really it started as the Speed Equipment Manufacturers Association back in the 60s, And in order to do some of the legislative and regulatory things, we changed the name to Specialty Equipment Market. And really, it's performance products for cars. Anything you'd want to have on your car, we've got at the SEMA show. It's a business-to-business event that really gathers the industry together once a year, and it's a phenomenal event.
But Tom, let's face facts now. Now, this is not one of those industry car shows where, Ma and Pa's got the little booth set up there. This thing has grown into an actual world event.
Oh, yeah.
And every custom car manufacturer begs to have one of their cars shown in some of the booths that are there. And I will tell you, it is truly stunning. Now, personally, I have not actually been to it live, but through all of the videos that I have seen and all of the car shows that I watch, What are you waving your hands about?
I've been.
Yeah. How many years ago was that?
Well, it's been a few years.
Uh-huh. Well, it's grown considerably in the past few years.
And Tom, now you're taking up 3 venues. Is that correct, or is it 4?
Conrad, we've got 5 halls, but it's the entire Las Vegas Convention Center campus. Yeah. So when you get down to it, and I don't like to think numbers because that helps me not sleep at night, but it's over 3 million square feet of space, and we have about 160,000, 170,000 people that attend. So when you look at it, it is a big event, but we try to focus on how to be the best event that people go to for their vertical part of the industry. And that's really where we center ourselves.
So do you have a special place for people like us besides jail?
Parking lot.
No, they can't be in the parking lot because they got car events going on out there now.
They can't be in the parking lot. But I'm saying that, I've always had this vision of us doing our show from there. Now, granted, the show is much longer than our 3-hour show, but, we've been known to do special broadcasts every day of the week. And do you have other car shows that come out there and do shows from there?
We do. And when you talk about whether or not there's a place for you, the nice thing about the SEMA show is there's really a place for everybody. No matter what part of the industry you're in, we cater to that because we are really broad in terms of our overall reach. And then when you get down to podcasts and things like that, we do have a lot of that going on. And this year we're going to have a special area of the show, which I'd love to have you guys at, where we're going to designate an area for podcasts. So you have sort of a set and you've got a nice background. And
oh, wow.
You'll be able to get some energy from the crowd. It'd really be a great thing to have you out there.
Yeah,
wow.
and you guys also have on display each of the manufacturers that are there showing their wares generally has a toy car for people to look at. A friend of ours, Randy Borcherding, that owns Paint House here in Houston, he's done a couple of cars that ended up in Battle of the Builders. He did a 56 Ford truck and a 70 Ford Ranchero. That I think was last year. And Randy, he's always associated with Griot's Garage. But those cars, some of them are stupendous builds that aren't necessarily seen anywhere but at SEMA.
Yeah, and that's really the story behind the story. We've got these builders who are really putting their heart and soul into it. The Battle of the Builders winner in 2020, it was a 9-year build. So when you think about how much blood, sweat, and tears went into that car, how many hours were into it, it's awesome to be able to see it. So I'm really lucky. I'm just the trade show guy at SEMA. So we build this environment and we let great companies like Griot's find the builders and really help magnify their brand and all the other companies that we've got there. But it all sort of comes together for this week, and it's magic. It's cars you don't see anywhere else in the world. It's this combination of people and conversations that happen that can't be matched anywhere.
Well, I have to tell you that I don't know about this particular year, but I know in years past that SEMA was always coupled up with the NHRA drag race out there at the Las Vegas Speedway, and I would assume that is still the case.
It is still the case, and the city of Las Vegas is big and it gets small all at the same time. So we're working together with the Las Vegas Speedway and how we can connect those two events together, because there's a lot of people that are out there for that race, and we have a special move-in on Monday for some of the cars that run on the strip on Sunday and need to be able to move into the show on Monday. We accommodate that, and it's really a cool part of the show.
And when does the show open? Does it open on Wednesday or Tuesday?
Yeah, we go Tuesday through Friday.
Yeah.
And it's really a 9 to 5 type of thing. But there's a lot going on before on Monday, and we have something we call the Monday reveal, which is kind of our version of the red carpet. So we get about 10 cars and we get some builders, and it's a what did you build type of thing, and what's going to be previewed this week. And then we end it with something that we call SEMA Ignited, which is a consumer event. And that's a great celebration of cars. And it's fed by the SEMA Cruise. And the SEMA Cruise is a parade of vehicles that come out of the SEMA show. There's about 1,000 or 1,200 cars that go in this designated route. We have 20,000 people that attend and watch. And you really get to see the coolest cars in the world go in this parade route into SEMA Ignited. And it's an awesome way to end 4 days of business.
Are they on trailers or are they driving them?
No, they're
driving.
driving.
They're driving.
Okay.
I was there the last time I was there. It was before they started the Ignited thing, so that tells you how long ago it was. But we were there Friday evening, whenever they started bringing the cars out and stuff, and it was just, it was a big parade, and it was great.
Yeah.
Now, when is this year's SEMA show?
This year's SEMA show is going to be the first week of November. So we're right in the Tuesday to Friday that first week, and moving in right there at the end of October.
So you, as the trade show manager, you're not the guy out there with the tape sizing everybody's booth, are you?
We're big and we're small at the same time. So I will say this:
somebody's got to do it.
I'm moving in a lot of feature vehicles. We have teams of people that do everything, and I'm kind of the air traffic controller of a really talented group of operations professionals. But at the end of the day, when you want it perfect, and that's really what we're striving for. We want to be the best automotive event in the world. Everybody's out there putting their touch on it, and I really like parking the cars and figuring out how it's all going to look. So I do a lot more with tape and chalk than you would think. But
I was just joking. I didn't think you did any of them. I figured you'd pass that out to somebody else. But it's got to be
I think I could separate, but I can't.
But it's got to be a little bit like spinning plates, because you get a little something going here, a little something going there, a little something going here. Well, you got to get back to the first one and keep working your way around between the vendors, between the builders on display, between I want to say consumers walking through. They are consumers, but it's not a truly open to the public event.
Right. No, and that's where I say there's thousands of people that work on this show, and we have it all organized. So I've got operations directors and operations managers who really help put the nuts and the bolts of the show together. And it really comes down to the exhibitors.
Right.
They're worried about their little plot of land, but when you do that 2,500 times, the combination of all that is just magic. And one of my favorite show memories is walking into the show on Tuesday morning after we've been working to build it for 4 or 5 days. Tuesday morning at 6 a.m., it's dead quiet.
Yep.
It's perfect. And that is really the excitement I get for all the work we did leading into it, but what the next 4 or 5 days are going to be like.
Where is the organization SEMA located?
So we're in Southern California, and I like to say we're in the middle of nowhere, but the center of everything. So we're in this city called Diamond Bar, which is east of Los Angeles, but we're kind of centrally located and have been there for a long, long time.
So I assume that probably some of that location choice is due to the beginning of NHRA and Pomona and all of that.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're right down the street from Pomona. And we're there, quite a bit. We'll be there coming up here soon too.
Yeah, no doubt. Okay, so it's just a hop, skip, and a jump to Las Vegas. Do you ever go and drive over to Las Vegas?
Yeah, I do. More times than I can count, probably.
And make a nice stop there in Palm Springs on the way.
No, Palm Springs is the other direction, but there's Barstow right there in the middle.
Barstow. There you go.
Riverside.
His grin got a little bit bigger.
Yeah, exactly.
Put 200 on black on the wheel for me.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
So, all right. So it's the first weekend in November. It is the Specialty Equipment Marketing Association.
The Specialty Equipment Market Association.
Market Association. Okay.
We're the first week, so we're Tuesday through Friday that first week in November.
Gotcha.
So let me ask you. When you were talking about the time you spend on it, you were talking about the drag racers that can kind of move in on that Monday, and then the show opens on Tuesday. When do you start working and setting this stuff up?
I was working on the 2024 show yesterday, so we're years in advance because we have to figure out what the convention center is looking like and that type of thing. But our total time in Las Vegas is about 18 days, and we start moving it in 12 days before it really starts. So it's a process. You kind of limp in and get started, and then you start to walk, and then you really start to run. And by the time we get to the show, we're sprinting. But it's really cool from my perspective to see it all come together because so much work has gone into it from so many people and so many companies over a year and a 2-year period. And it just crescendos at this point. And it's hard to describe. And Mike, you've been, but we've got to get everybody else out there, but it's hard to describe the energy that happens because this is where the industry gets together and starts to catapult what the products and the sales and what the vehicles are going to look like for the next 3 to 5 years.
What company owns the largest piece of real estate at typical SEMA show?
So it comes down to some of the performance manufacturers and some of the OEMs. So I'd say right now you're probably looking like at a Ford or a General Motors, but we certainly have Hunter Engineering, which is a tool and equipment, and
out of St. Louis.
Wheel Space, Truck Hero is another one. So, and it's not about its size as much as it is about presence. And what we found is that companies that are really big have a lot to say. So they have a lot of people working in there. But if you look at it as just one individual walking through the show and what your time management's like, when you walk into one of these booths, there's enough people in that booth where you're able to have a one-on-one conversation and get a lot of value out of it. So it's really for us, you mentioned the mom and pop. We've got a lot of mom and pop manufacturers there who have developed a product in their garage and debut it at the SEMA show, and it transforms their business and changes their lives. There's a lot of that as well, and it's really interspersed everywhere. So I like to say your next bestseller is around the next corner, and it's really true because as you walk through the SEMA show, there's new products everywhere, and it doesn't matter if it's a big company or a small company; they're all there.
So as big and massive,
they're all there.
As big and massive as Vegas is, and how many conventions Vegas endlessly does, is it simple to say that SEMA is its single largest event?
It's the single largest event at the convention center in most given years, but from a car standpoint, it's the most significant thing that happens in the automotive world on an annual basis. So
totally agree.
We're lockstep with the convention center, and they're doing big things, and they're really helping us figure out how we can grow and continue to flourish. So even though our event's going to be, this is the 55th running of it.
Wow.
We're still working with them to see how we can change it and make it better. And we're looking at things they're going to be doing with us for the future. So we're looking really to expand our business to business reach, but we're also offering things for enthusiasts. And it started with our SEMA Cruise and then our SEMA Ignited event. But through that, we had an opportunity for enthusiasts to be able to come to the show this year for the first time ever on Friday. And we called it the Friday Experience. And that's going to continue to expand. So I'd say that what we're seeing right now from a marketplace is we have this business-to-business interaction that we've always had. But now we're seeing the shift in the marketplace where it gets more enthusiast-driven. And that, I think, is a healthy growth pattern for us. So we're going to be doing a lot of things over the next 10 years. And I'm really excited to be just a small part of it and watch how it's going to grow.
Well, we're thrilled to know you.
Yeah.
So you're our connection to SEMA, and we appreciate you taking the time today to talk to us out there on the West Coast. How does gas prices, by the way?
I can't talk about that right now because I'm saving money right now for my next tank. There's other states in the union that have got lower prices.
Well,
you're waiting to get approved for the loan.
Low interest loan, yeah.
And talk to the governor of Michigan, and she'll send you at least $6.66, I'm sure. Tom, it's great to talk to you. Thanks so much for joining us today. Let's talk before the next show.
Yeah, I look forward to it. Thanks, Tom.
Thank you. Tom Gattuso with SEMA. That's pretty awesome. We'd love to hear from you, by the way. You can shoot us an email anytime. Our address here is info@inwheeltime.com. Time now for This Week in Auto History. And we always love the auto history thing. Mr. Conrad has that.
Well, this week we're going to go way back.
Way back
to 1658.
All right.
I remember it well.
In 1658, Antonio de la Mothe Le Sieur de Cadillac, a French explorer, found, I don't know why he was looking for it,
Cadillac, Michigan.
but he found the Detroit area.
Yep.
And it was named, Cadillac was named after him, and the Detroit area as well. So not too sure why anybody would want to find Detroit, but he did.
Hey.
And, and today Detroit's known as Motor City. In 1887, Daimler built the Benson motor car carriage and had the first test run in Germany of Gottlieb Daimler's first four-wheeled vehicle. So that was back in 1887, which is a little bit earlier than a lot of people think.
I had hair like that.
And the bicycle wheels were very common in early cars because a lot of bicycle builders were the ones who were building cars. In 1902, the American Automobile Association was organized on this day. On this week. So AAA is older than Don.
Wow. Great. Thanks.
Sure? Yeah, 1902.
It's one of the very few things on this earth.
In 1925, the first nationwide highway numbering system was instituted by the federal highway officials in order to minimize confusion, and different states had different looking signs. They adopted this look for not interstate highways, but highways that crossed multiple states. Because this, 1925 was before the interstate highway system of the red, white, and blue signs that Eisenhower brought in, but the early highway signs.
Highway Patrol.
Right.
With Roderick Crawford.
Yeah, I got a story about him.
And America got its kicks on Route 66 using this sign as it went from Chicago to Santa Monica, California. In 1947, Ferrari drove the first 125S vehicle out of the factory gates, and that 125 was kind of the kickoff of Ferrari. But also in 1929, the Los Angeles Car Show caught fire. And that was burned everything in the building, and one of the remaining vehicles has since been taken out of the fire, captured from the fire and restored, and has been shown at Pebble Beach.
It
was the only one. It was the Auburn one of the Auburns that they have now since brought out to show. And then again in 1947, Ferrari released the 125. And if you think Ferrari and looking at the original Ferrari vehicle, this isn't what you think. Because to me, that 125 Ferrari looked a lot like an Austin Healey, but it was out before the Austin Healey. In 1973, Honda released the Honda Civic, was introduced to the United States. And if you remember the first Honda Civic with the CVCC engine in it, which was kind of the first evolution of variable valve timing way back in the day. And think about the timing of it. Honda released this in 1973. What else was going on in 1973?
Gas shortage.
The oil crisis of the 70s. We're having our own oil crisis with Bidenflation right now going on, and Honda hit a home run with this car. And Honda Civic is the second longest name plate from the Japanese domestic market. You know what the longest running name plate is?
Tell me.
Toyota Corolla.
Bicycle builder.
So Corolla's been around since 1968.
Huh.
And that is This Week in Auto History.
Okay. Got a couple of headlines we want to get to before we close out today's show. A former dealership owner was sentenced to 6 years in federal prison on March 3rd after being found guilty of defrauding Toyota out of $4.3 million.
Wow.
Listen to this.
Stealing under warranty.
Court documents said James Pinson, took advantage of a Toyota customer support program that bought back trucks with excessive rust from customers for 150% of the Kelly Blue Book value. The program was only available to customers and not dealerships. Court documents state that between 2013 and 2015, Mr. Pinson bought 350 trucks at wholesale price at auction. He obtained,
I love it.
He obtained copies of random residents' driver's licenses and titled the vehicles in their names.
Oh, boy.
He took the trucks to Love Lexus Toyota in West Virginia and bribed the service manager and another employee in order to take advantage of the program, according to court documents. Love Lexus Toyota service manager Frank Russo, 69, was also sentenced the same day to 2 years in federal prison for wire fraud. Stanley Clark, who administered repurchases at Love Lexus Toyota, was sentenced to 15 months in prison last week, according to a press release from the Southern District of West Virginia U.S. Attorney's Office. Both Russo and Pinson will be required to pay restitution of up to $4.3 million to Toyota, according to the press release. Pinson used the money he made through the scheme to purchase a beach house in South Carolina.
Mars has a beach house.
Which he will also be required to give up. Way to go.
Is that dollars or yen?
So, we've talked about
this guy must have been in politics or something at one time.
He learned how to work the system. We've talked about used car prices doubling. Well, the state of New York has filed lawsuits against a number of dealers who have been overcharging for lease turn-ins. You think about a lease, you have a guaranteed price at the end of the lease that you can buy the vehicle for. Mm-hmm. In today's market, that's a steal of a price on the lease for the residual value. So some of these dealers in New York were charging additional dealer fees, lemon law fees, a dealer adjustment, a cost of living adjustment fee, up to $7,000 to these people that were turning in their lease vehicles.
Wow.
And some of them are going to jail as well.
Jersey.
Former AutoNation CEO Mike Jackson collected more than $18 million in 2021 before he retired from AutoNation.
A deal. What a deal.
Those kind of things really tick me off. So I spend my money at a car dealership, and part of that money is going to go to this jerkwad for $18 million. It's their company.
There's also a class action lawsuit against AutoNation about vehicle protection plans.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, but
you know who now is head of AutoNation?
Yes.
Mike Manley, the former CEO at what is now Stellantis, but used to be FCA.
When I worked for AutoNation, I worked for a gentleman by the name of Jeff Dyke, and he moved up the ladder quite quickly to high levels.
And it's not just AutoNation. I mean, all those corporate CEOs, they're all
Sonic,
multi-million-dollar ones.
There's a zillion of them.
You sit there and wonder, what are they doing to make that kind of money?
Yeah.
Well,
and why would the board of directors say, "Oh, okay, well, if you do this, we'll give you this, millions and millions and millions of dollars." Mm-hmm. All that does is add to the ugliness of it all, because we read stories like this and go, wait just a minute, that's not fair.
That ain't right.
Well, it's a matter of...
It's bad PR, I'll tell you that.
I understand that you need to pay somebody a little bit extra to get them to step in, and you want that kind of talent, but that kind of extra, I mean, you can buy a whole lot for a whole lot less.
Look at new vehicle manufacturers. Mary Barra, what did she get? $25 million in 2020. So it's not
Motors.
It's not just at the dealer level, it's also at the manufacturer level, the amount of money that's paid to some of these people.
They could get all four
of us.
They
didn't give me anything but the shaft.
Oh, boy.
But it was a expensive
That was a setup.
The camshaft or the drive shaft. All right, time now for a quick break. We'll be right back. You're on the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show on iHeartRadio.
Saturday, March 19th, 2022 is the premiere of the all-new Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise In, and you're invited. Tailpipes and Tacos kicks off a new seasonal format, and first up is the Spring Cruise In at the Lupe Tortilla in Katy, 8 to 11 a.m. Saturday, March 19th. Tailpipes and Tacos will award trophies for the best hot rod, best classic, and best modern classic, so make plans now. Tailpipes and Tacos is Houston's coolest cruise in, and this is where you'll enjoy seeing the best hot rods, show cars, classics, and resto mods, along with Lupe Tortilla breakfast tacos and adult beverages. There's no entry fee, and all cars will automatically compete for custom Lupe trophies and other prizes. It all happens at the Lupe Tortilla Tex-Mex in Katy on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard, just south of I-10. Get your ride ready for the all-new Spring Tailpipes and Tacos, Saturday, March 19th. It's going to be a huge car show, and spectators are welcome. The In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show will be there, too. Let's celebrate the arrival of spring and the return of Tailpipes and Tacos, Saturday morning, March 19th, 8 to 11 a.m. at the Lupe Tortilla in Katy. We'll see you then, weather permitting. The In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show is now part of the iHeart family. Now you'll have access to 24/7 Car Talk anytime you need a fix. Just download the iHeart Radio app and ask for In-Wheel Time Car Talk, and there we are. Be sure to save us in your iHeart library for instant access. No matter where you are, you have the best Car Talk Show right on your PC, laptop, or mobile device and never have to worry about finding us again. Of course, you can always get access to our video and audio streams via InWheelTime.com and your favorite podcast channel, and all of this is free to you. From the iHeart Radio app, you'll not only hear our Saturday morning live show, but the best shows of the past, updated weekly. Never miss a minute of up-to-date new car reviews, pre-owned reviews, Conrad's Car Clinic, informative interviews, automotive news, and the most fun car talk show on the planet. Just download the iHeart Radio app, search for In-Wheel Time Car Talk, save it to your library, and with a tap of the icon, you'll be in touch with your favorite Car Talk team. In-Wheel Time Car Talk, streaming now on iHeart.com/In-Wheel Time Car Talk.
Well, you know what that sound means.
Yep.
It's time to go. Woo-hoo. That's a wrap for this week's In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show on iHeartRadio. When you're on our Facebook page, please give us a like, tell your friends about us, share our junk if you would. You'll get Conrad's unicorn hunting features along with all things automotive all week long. There'll be some fun stuff in there for you, too, including upcoming events and other goodies. The In-Wheel Time Car Show is on 24/7 on iHeartRadio, both online and through the iHeart app. Find us at In-Wheel Time Car Talk. We're still live streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and InWheelTime.com every Saturday, 8 to 11 Central. 30-minute podcasts available from your favorite podcast outlet 7 days a week. The In-Wheel Time Chief Engineer is David Ainsley. Our Marketing Advertising Manager and Video Technical Director is We Need More, Jeff Zeka.
We do.
For booking agent and podcast editor, Mike Out of This World Mars, and his royalty, King Conrad DeLong. I'm Don Armstrong. Today's show is produced by the Southwestern Bell phone man who fell off the pole.
We know
Be
him.
sure to join us again for our next live In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show from Tailpipes and Tacos at the Lupe Tortilla Tex-Mex in Katy on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard, just south of I-10 in Katy. Next Saturday, March 19th, 8 to 11 a.m. Central, right here on the Smoke and Mirrors Network. Adios, amigos.
Don't forget to turn your clocks forward.
Yep, fall back.